And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that, so what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
One, two, three, four.
You're just another one hit wonder, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. And I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Oh man, what a lie, what a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield, 1974.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save.
NECC time here in Rocket League Town. I'm Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside Bearlight, and it's week 2 of our college competition here in the good old, you would want to call it spring. Winter's still very cold though. As we work our way into hotter natures, into all of the competition, we'll be showing you some great talent across this collegiate sphere. Bear, it's so great to be back in the booth alongside yourself after the first week of our triple header of competition. We've got another one. It's 3 separate divisions, 6, 2, and 7 to showcase tonight. How you feeling tonight, man?
Well, first of all, I missed you. It's been so long, and I'm excited to be back at NECC as well. It's always a good time here on this NECC channel. They bring incredible matchups, and the reason I'm excited here, particularly tonight, is because we got 3 especially awesome matchups here tonight. Of course, we got King's College Red facing off with Temple Esports White. Hail Monkey Man. King's College coming in at 1-0. Temple Esports not as lucky, as they are 0-1 coming in. They lost that Game 7, series to Marywood, so they're looking to turn it around here tonight.
A very tough loss to start off your first week, but a good measurement of what this squad was able to do into the previous semester. You've got Casper, Connor Cookie, and Vast Train, the main 3-headed Hydra. They've expanded their roster a little bit with another player named JAS that also was able to round out their 5-piece there for the Lions out of King's College. Temple Esports and Calamity. We brought down onto the pitch. This is an upgrade season for the Lions of King's College Red because they came into it after going to the semifinals and losing in their own Fall Ender game number 7. Week number 1 treated them well at a 4-1. Let's see what they do in week 2.
Yeah, as a program that's under the athletic department, you expect good things. But right now, Temple's the one showing up as they'll get the first one on the board. The Temple looking to kind of showcase themselves as a student-led program. They've got a couple coaches from other teams, one from Marvel Rivals and Wet Napkin. They've got Vroom from the Cherry team as well. Shout out to them if you're in chat here representing Temple Esports White, who gets the first one on the board.
Looks like they've decided to go with fall check as well on the other side of King's College Red. Depends on how they're going to rotate this roster, because I was looking at the coach just a little bit before all of this, and they were telling me about everyone that is there. Maybe they rotate very deep into 4 and 5 players, seeing how situationally it can work here for the spring. So that first one is a good look for the Owls overall, as Dufern, someone didn't talk about in the pregame, is trying to make their way upfield.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about NECC is the divisions go so deep. This Division 6 side really opens up opportunities for every individual student that's out there that plays the game of Rocket League. So I love the fact that you're able to kind of sub in and out, get the players experience when they're in here, and really be able to keep everybody fresh at the end of the day here. As that's going to be fielded by Temple to clear back out, but yeah, Monkey will see a little bit of calming down here. Temple got the first one pretty quickly, and we'll see if Kings can answer. They've got some offensive possession time here.
So far, getting the Lions moving up into the middle of the pitch and trying to just maintain at least a hold onto it, but they've relinquished that pretty quickly. Not a lot of boosts spread along all of the Owls out of Temple, and some good footwork from out of Casper goes even Stevens along with Carey. So they're still working along the boards, seeing if they can be able to get a follow-up shot. That one was an opportunity. Fall check, give a lot of respect to the defender that was hanging out to that near side post. Maybe going to be taking some extra space now as they see that one left behind. Connor Cookie's got a chance. It's going to be them and Casper accidentally locking up into the same zone. Casper wants to play with this one, but they will lose handles on the possession.
Yeah, I like the idea at least to throw a little bit of a head fake there. It's definitely going to catch them by surprise here. So that was a good first step in the right direction. Kings has also got the opportunity there. Was put on target, but that one's going to be fended off by the Owls as they'll get out to midfield. Cycling around here is Falchek, but he'll let a teammate come in. It was Connor that was on it, but a little bit too slow here as Temple right back to it here. And Casper in the 1v1. Maybe played that a little bit slowly, but Calamity wasn't able to make good use of it. And it kind of lingers here at midfield. Nobody jumped on it. Eventually it'll be punched out by Kings College Red.
It's become slow ball because of that elongated possession off of the jump. They think that it was Connor that came off of their own goal line, and they didn't have any boost to actually go up and really challenge into the outer back third. So that slowed everything down. Still, for all intents and purposes, Temple gave a lot of extra space. They've gotten that one score. It's the only score that we've seen so far here in game number 1. Set to try and make it even, and they do so. Cannot get it from the interior post. Connor will get it, and we're all tied at 1.
Connor Kookie able to just launch that one past the last defender. Caught Carey just a little bit too far forward there positionally, and they'll take that every single time. An easy one here. We'll equalize with 2:09 left here on the clock, and to maybe buy into some of that momentum, because Kings College has certainly been the team that's found a few more of the opportunities, but Temple trying to silence that. This one in the box, a good challenge there from Calamity, but Casper was there, and they bump into one another here. The idea was to try to get a Temple member into the offensive side of the ball, but instead it'll fall backwards. Good job to play that away from Connor as well, as it'll hang here in the corner of Temple Esports.
Oh, good find by Dufern. They're not going to be able to do much with it except send it neutral, but that does keep Kings College from bearing too deep into that opposite corner. Now Carey the big boomer upfield, and that allows Temple to start really gaining some ground. 90 seconds to go. It was an early first goal from out of the Owls. Kings College really utilized that rotation, did not panic. Oh, this one's going to scream just off of the front face of the crossbar and not allowing the backdoor offender to come through. That was an opportunity possibly for Falchek to get an extra shot opportunity. Instead, Owls move forward.
And I like that play from Dufern, who was able to get a couple of touches in the air. That was enough to push it past a would-be defender there from Kings College, but they're right back onto it. As Falchek will clear at the length of the pitch. Waiting for it is Carey. They'll turn it forward, but only as far as midfield, as Casper will punch it back. And Carey will take it from the corner. He's got boost in the tank. Now we'll touch it, but a little bit too far away from them. And Casper will put it past Calamity. An opportunity, but again, the midfield possession has been a little bit iffy both ways, Hail Monkey Man. The team that can really clean that up is who I eyeball as far as taking this game on. It was almost Kings College to put themselves ahead with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, your first game of your best of 7, so this is a good way in a good position to at least get all of the rust knocked off from the previous week. It was a short one for the Lions, and for the Owls, it was a nail biter that came up short. They're trying to make sure they have the advantage going to game number 2. Cross cut's going to be undercut and fall wide. Boost taken away. Casper's going to be the last defender. That one will come off. Will they be a ricochet player to accidentally assist the Owls? Temple, they begin to press just before overtime. This one will be sky high. Going off the back wall, it falls to the outer perimeter. One extra opportunity for Temple. Maybe a 0-second. It gets slammed to the ground by Connor. Bonus time.
I love this attitude from Temple. Sorry to cut you off, but that was exciting to see them jump after it. And you bet they're coming right back at you here in overtime. Had the boost in the tank. Follow up, but a big save there from Connor Cookie.
What a energetic game number 1 from both of these teams. Temple, they sense that there's some weakness just being exhibited by the Lions of Kings College right now, and they are trying to press. And Kings, they have done a very good job of answering the call at the very last opportunity to do so. Carey's trying to disguise this play, give his second man a great look at the net. Now they're all having to retreat, but Carey's ready to go. They're going to give both of their teammates some time to be able to rotate back and reset.
Even after that missed flip reset attempt there, Carey stuck with it and got that extra touch. Love the focus coming out of Temple, as that one will hit off the sidewall as well. Go out to midfield. But Kings College, they had the last goal on the board. That was about 3 minutes ago. As this game plays on into overtime, this will be up high. Opportunity. They're up for it already. Goes back wall. Couldn't get the follow-up, but there was a rebound chance. But Calamity is going to be fought up by Casper yet again. Opportunity from the corner. They take it. Yet another big save here from Kings College. They're dying for some relief, and they'll finally get it.
Correction from Lions out to Monarchs. Either way, they're looking royal as the pride of the Kings College is starting to really get tested. But they are standing strong defensively and otherwise. They have not been able to construct an offense that's going to move to the other side of the pitch as of yet. And Carey is again going to threaten. Connor is being called off by fall check as they forward check into that press of that back third. 100 seconds now, nearly into overtime. A double commit. Dufern is the last man available to make sure that this doesn't become a counterplay. They will play this very close to the vest. Goes to the back wall regardless. This has been a stretch and a half of an opening game here for this series. Temple knows how to play some deep series, and Kings College, they're being reminded that it's not just going to be 4s and 5s, an easy series overall. Trying to be able to make this flick.
Oh.
Top 90 and in. Connor will end it here in game 1.
That was kind of filthy. I love that. Look at this as he settles down first, right to the hood of the car. Does not wait an extra second. Puts it upper 90, top right. No chance there for the defender, in a hard-fought effort both ways. Goes the way of Kings College Red in game number 1.
Good old Monarchs, they didn't just rest upon their laurels and their throne, they eventually popped out. But let's look at the differential that screams the loudest to me. 15 shots from out of Temple, as well as 12 saves from Kings College. Just less than a handful went wayward, and otherwise everything was having to be answered immediately by the Monarchs. So Kings College showing that a solid defense gives you chances. 5 of the 6 shots, though, coming out of Connor Cookie. A little kooky out there. You got to be a little crazy to play the way they just did.
Honestly, to pull that one off, yeah. You have to have a mindset that's a little bit think outside the box. It immediately comes to mind is obviously the flick play that was more recent, but then also a couple of fake moves that they were trying to throw in there as well that caught Temple by surprise there late. So they'll get the last 2 on the board there and ride the momentum into the next game. But that was too close for comfort, for Kings College. I'd like to see Temple answer back a little bit. Calamity had some good looks there. I thought Carey has done a good job kind of filling in and being that third role as well. And Dufern had some great opportunities as well. I mean, they play with great confidence for sure. Their no hesitation attitude certainly stood out to me. I love what Temple and Kings College has put on the pitch here. It's been super quick and close rather, and they'll continue to look to see if they can't be able to put it onto Kings College this time around. You can shoot all you want to. You just got to put it in the back of the net though.
And it's not like all of them weren't at least in some level accurate. And this one is going to be just as much so as Casper comes through. And we'll find this first adjunct upfield. It was kind of a cutoff rotation. You had St. Calamity just behind the midfield line. And I got to wonder if that second man rotation back and hitting that touch took it away from the third man. That would have made it more neutral.
Yeah, honestly, I think that played a big role in how it kind of opened up there as of late. See if Temple has the answer here. Got a majority of the pressure last game. That'll be a pass over to Carey, who's going to be able to bank it off the ceiling. Was hoping it would fall back down for a teammate, but instead he'll find Connor Kupke, the overtime winner in the last one. That one a free net, but that one's going to go wide of the mark. Temple to the corner, tried to take that shot. Calamity a little bit off it too, and Temple's got to be careful as they're bunching into this corner, as Kings College Red has been really good on the downfield chances. And they will get it downfield here, but Carey's now having struggle. Hands full. Calamity can't get to it, and Casper will dunk it in. Kings College Red up 2-0.
Look at this pre-jump, though. Even though they stayed low to the ground, they didn't want to have to waste any issue, and they knew that this was going to drop very quickly from the ceiling. If it was going to be timing, they were going to have a lot of momentum to be able to beat out the touch of the defender, and they do so. That came off of the nose of one. They bury it right underneath. So a 2-goal lead inside of the first minute. Remember, it was a 1-0 lead for at least, what, 3 minutes or so, Bear?
That's right.
By Temple in game number 1. So Kings College showing that now they can start really ramping things up and start frustrating the Owls, who it's been a while since they've gotten themselves a second goal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, 4 straight goals here from Kings College Red, almost turning into 5, as that one was a little bit close as well. St. Calamity going to be beat to this. Connor had the opportunity to get the touch. It'll still fall down. Good catch from Temple. But when they turned upfield, Casper was ready for that one too. Ball all the way back to midfield. Connor back on it. He's been very strong in the series already. Volchek had to wait for a teammate to try to gather this one from the goal line. That seems to be where Kings College likes to operate from. They certainly don't look nervous on that goal line at all, but that one will break through. It'll be Dufern to get Temple on the board.
Nice eventuality this here, especially as Carey just cut off the rotation away from Connor. And look, you have both Volchek and Casper at that midfield. As soon as there was a vacated back third, you have to have someone driving down. That has been Temple's operandum. They've been able to at least get one striker to force someone to return backwards by the Monarchs. And finally, finding a mistake, looking at a gap and seeing what they can do for it. But Casper's hoping for Addy, and they get it. One solid touch, but gets another. They regain a 2-goal lead.
That one almost looked too easy. Went out to midfield here, and Dufern kind of got caught there. Thought they may have had support behind him. That looked like it was the case. Can't speak for them, not on the pitch. But, you know, you got to be able to challenge that one, at least get out and put your body in front of it if you're the last back. That all goes to communication at the end of the day. So Temple hopefully can clean some of that up and work from here as Dufern try to go far post there too, but that will be off the mark too. So not a whole lot of positives in the last minute or so, really in the last 3 minutes or so for Temple.
Also, I kind of empathize with that sequence of confusion for Dufern back there, because you're not wholesale expecting Casper to go for that next touch. Maybe setting up another one to fall check or otherwise.
Yep.
But now Kings College is starting to really ramp up some confidence. They're moving upfield. They're not really leaving this ladder platitude, as Temple has to retreat so far back, and they are much more avidly moving into some more orange and owl nested and infested spaces. So if you're Temple, you got to start looking for some of these gaps, because they're getting a little bit quicker. They're stealing your resources. You got to take that for yourself. Dufern's going to climb the ladder here. It's going to give them a chance to rotate forward, maybe get a striker, and that's a bunch of cars jumping with no contact.
A little whifty in the words of Jorby. So I'm going to make it out to midfield, and Carey is going to drop back for boost instead. Got a teammate out there, but it's left loose. That's just going to give away possession. And Kings College Red now will chase. Look at Connor already up for this one too. Carey had no anticipation of that, because it was tough to kind of see and read. You're so focused on the ball in that moment, and Connor's just throwing him curveballs left and right that they're continuously having to read.
He's used to doing that. He's a dual sport athlete, both in esports as well as in football. So the guy knows how to be able to read a field and make life, not comfortable for their opponents. So utilizing a lot of extra skill sets to make this one even more interesting for the Monarchs. This will just be a lock on target. Dufern mostly just forcing this to be a traditional rotation as they try to rise up against Casper. But again, it's Connor that's going to body block with them, trying to get that one around Carey. That just kisses off the front face of the net. They've gotten all of one goal here, Bear. That was one rotational issue by the Monarchs at that point in time, but Kings College Red has otherwise regained total control of this pitch.
And Connor's right back on it. I mean, look at this. No moment will they let off. Casper right back in. Good dunk and chase, and they're able to dunk it too. Connor's been so huge in this series. That'll be their first goal in this one, but a 4-1 lead now for Kings College Red.
Running it down They learned this one from watching Casper just a little bit ago. If it's going to drop real fast from off of the backboard or that upper waterfall position, just see if you can be able to 50 past the defender. They're not going to find it. So that is, in terms of differential between two games, you've got what? A 6-2 run up in favor of the Monarchs, and the 4-1 right now, hopefully for the Owls, does not spell the imminent future for the next two games, because they're going to need to be able to find an offense that not only can stick it and threaten the back box, but can definitely get around these guys. They will get one. A great touch there from the sidewall. They got 31 seconds to get two more.
That's a good sign that they're not going to come out flat for the rest of the series. At the very least, they're going to give them a little bit of a challenge, because you're right. I mean, how many times have we seen a team lose in overtime game number one? And because it was so that close in that moment, your team kind of falls apart a little bit, right? That confidence in the rest of your team, even if it's not low, it's still going to be lower than the team that beat you in overtime. So it makes it a little bit difficult to kind of get back out there and find some momentum. And the scoreboard does show that here, Monkey, but the fact that Temple was able to get the last goal on the board, they're going to want at least one more to feel super confident going into the next game. But right now, I still like that sign for them.
It's a good look to at least show you're not dead. They're going to need to show a little bit more life. The pulse has to be a little bit more vibrant. This is going to be a turn-in. Bardowski for the road. A 5-2 just to regain and reclaim a 3-goal lead. So looking at, I guess, your total body of work from the past couple of games, Bear. First one, trying to win by volume, where the Owls defense won the day. This time around, frustrating them from that game to this one, the Monarchs simply did not let them get into it. So Kings College will go up 2-0 in the series.
And it's all a mental thing at the end of the day, because whenever you made that many saves, in the last game for Kings College, and you weren't able to break through, it kind of gets your team thinking, well, what can we do to get a goal on the board at all? It's very tough to do that and break out of that mindset. But Kings College, because of that, caught Temple kind of second-guessing themselves in some offensive opportunities. They were able to get some big clears when they needed to from their defensive zone and work some offense. So defense turns into offense whenever you get them kind of double-guessing themselves. That's when you can really strike. Connor Kuki was really good early and late in that one, and Casper obviously with a show offensively. Those two were great.
It was good to look at as well, because of the 6 shots that we had in game number 1 from the Monarchs, I was a little afraid because 5 of the 6 all came from Connor. I was like, all right, is this going to be kind of a one-man deep arsenal? But obviously not. Connor was able to enable. Wow. So much good work from out of Casper, who did it faster. And I think maybe Casper even looked at themselves like, I need to get this game. All right, game number 1. The hands are warm now. Let's get it working around. There's no arthritis like this old man. Simply getting the sticks moving. They open it up with a Hattie, and everything else thereafter was just falling chips easy on the table. So for Temple, can't have that. Cannot let that occur. 6 seconds in, Connor with a strike.
And the assist from the sub-in, actually. J-A-S is in. Yes, that's how you say the name. J-A-S. We asked it in the pregame, so, but JAS already getting the assist, so already contributing that early. What do you have? Not just 3 individuals working together well, but 4, Monkey. That's going to be a problem here for Temple that they'll have to break through.
It's going to be interesting, too, because this is uninclusive of their Bass Train, who is apparently their main captain for this team. So I got to wonder when they may be stepping in, if that's going to be a game number 4, if they even need to show up, or if they're even kind of around. So far, Kings College is showing that there is a depth to this roster and to this program here for this Division 6 matchup. And right now for Temple, to show a little bit of life. We've seen them have great looks, but they've had to vie for when gaps come about from Kings College and falls apart. Sometimes you see teams get a little bit more physical to force those gaps to get opened up, but that requires them to get a bit faster on the pitch.
Speed of faster, I think Temple, that was probably a talking point of theirs. Even though the first goal went in, that was, that'll happen off a kickoff from or 2. But you want to be able to, like, as a whole, be able to encompass more to it. So that's what I'm looking for from them. And it looked like they're trying to amp up that speed, but so is JAS as they'll get their first goal of the series pretty much immediately. Just 1:09 into their first game play, and it'll be a 2-0 lead now for Kings.
That's an unfortunate double commit. Dufern and Carey on top of each other. A bit of confusion as to who was going to go as the second man to that next touch after the rollover. No boost for Calamity, so he lets it kind of fall into that mid zone. But the rotation was congested. A lot of traffic. Looks like my morning Monday commute. Another strike. A drop down. Great save. Goes into the breadbasket of the third man. But ends up being a kick out. Calamity will save the day for the moment.
Calamity, great touch to direct that. I believe it was on target, might have been a little bit wide, but Kings will swat it away. This one right in the middle still, and it looked like Dufern had a chance to put it on target. But those ones are sneaky hard, trying to be able to redirect it like that. So Temple, maybe an opportunity missed. Speaking of miss, that ball was missed. That's Connor having to get up in pursuit because of the teammates' miss. That shot, well aimed there from Temple. 3:10 left on the clock. They're back within one.
Look at the body language with Connor. He had just dropped off, and look where the shot goes. He's like, ah, dang it.
No cookies in the top shelf, I guess.
Apparently not. So they leave that jar right on the counter. So for Temple, that's a good look. Sometimes you have to have that timing, and sometimes it takes a little bit to manifest. My goodness, Carey nearly getting a pinball medal from off of that one. As ends up just going right off of one, possibly was going to be a great follow. Be sent back in. JAS there to receive now onto that opposite side wall as they're looking for bodies and heads to roll. Carry.
Uh-oh.
They just need anyone? This has been 3 up and back lines, Bear.
There was 2 times in that last sequence where Temple was cherry picking, but they didn't take advantage of it. They didn't look at them, anything. If you're going to be downfield and not in the defensive rotation, you know, you have to, number one, make sure that your team's got it. Number 2, make sure that you're actually communicating that so that way your teammates can see you downfield, locate that, and be able to find you. But because everybody was so far committed forward, left the door wide open on the back end, and Kings College easily takes that one, maybe another one, but that one's going to go just high.
This has kind of become a utility play, just making sure that the Monarchs can stay upfield. Not a lot of boost available really to anyone here from Temple. You've got Carey, who has the plethora and plentiful amount of it, but that's the only player. Everyone else adds zeros as they are just bleeding dry the Owls from out of their own nest. JAS has been a stellar advent onto this team. They were the newest one brought onto the roster here to this semester, so really just continuing to find wins, not just from their previous semester, but as well as the players that want to expand this program. Less than 2 minutes to go. JAS is going to drop it onto this corner, and Kings College is just going to continue to suppress the Owls.
And Connor's just killing more time here off the back wall. Also had Casper if they wanted. We'll try the back wall again. It is open this time. JAS will step up in their place, and this one's certainly getting away from Temple. Kings College Red has certainly been dominant in this series after that overtime win. They are putting everything on the board. They're also rotating back defensively. There's basically no gaps in this team at all, and Temple's been suffocating since then.
Stellar gameplay right now from out of Kings College Red. Temple Esports White. Feels like some of this has just gone wayward. Obviously, you have a couple of frustrating games from your previous 2. Second one was much more balanced and they couldn't get into it. The first one feels like maybe they left something out there from that overtime. This third has just kind of been much more of a lost process. So Casper trying to get something off of the underside of their car, see if there's some disruption. You're getting Carey, who wants to revitalize this team. And that's exactly what they need. Even if it's an individual play, get a little bit spunky, make a spark happen. Calamity will have to retreat as he leaves his 2 teammates upfield.
Yeah, and of course you don't want to overcomplicate things. You know, you saw that in the tail end of that chance, but I like the confidence going up for that one originally. Try to get that flip pretty set, come back down, fake it, and be able to make a move, but you got to be able to do step 2 as well. That's a good passing play, though. Casper will shut it down, so all things considered, when you're still finding some traction, Kings College Red still finding a way to fend it off. JAS was maybe looking for a teammate to turn on that one. Casper had full eyes for some full boost, so he had backed off the play, but there's no real rush on the Kings College Red side. 22 seconds left, and it looks like they should walk away with this game as well. The match point already after 3 games is pretty good place to be here, Monkey.
Disruption and malfunction. Casper's able to drive another one home. That is a second 5-goal game in a row for the Monarchs. And those two words I used a moment before. King's College has gotten into the roost of the Owls. Temple has not been able to do much, even when they functionally are starting some of these plays up where King's College bears down upon them. And then when they are given a gap, they just cannot get anything more. Make it 6. That's just extra icing on top. As Temple Esports waving the white flag here for game 3.
Yeah, it's a tough one. King's College Red proving to be the masters of the Battle of I-476 up in Pennsylvania, as the team from Philadelphia has been pretty much handcuffed. That is Temple Esports against the Wilkes-Barre side of King's College Red, who's finding their way in the last couple. Really started to shine in games 2 and games 3, of course, so that will march up to match point with ease, it feels like, one away from the Brazil. And the shot count has always been favoring them, but this time around, since game 1 that is, but this time around, it's pretty even across the board. It's just the goal scoring column's completely different. A lot more team play from that side that I've noticed, and they've just been an all-around better team in my opinion.
JAS with 2 goals out of 4 shots and 3 assists. Dude was 5 of 6 of the goals, team participation across his squad. Fun fact that matches all those stats, dude is a realtor. So he might be trying to sell some land over in Owls territory. So something about it right now. They owe JAS some rent, and apparently he came to collect. So this squad, very strong. Temple, they have some great ideas. It just feels like that their execution rate is falling short at what the Monarchs are doing. But that's also why we have changed everything to be best of 7s as of last semester. Going into this one, game 4 is where it must begin if the Owls truly want to get into this current spring competition. See if they can be able to just kind of get that first score on the board.
Kings almost being the first one to get the first on the board, that it. Connor right back to it, using the back wall, trying to get it to himself. This will be Casper to follow. Dufern's having to chase off one, and that was a little bit, a little bit more dangerous than it seemed on the surface, as there was nobody else back to support there from Temple Esports Wyatt, but they did eventually get to it here as Connor Cookie now will drop it down for Casper, and they will work their way out. But Connor's not able to get up to this one, but can anybody from Temple? No, as Connor just kind of sat there past the goal line and said, come to me, ball, let's get a goal.
One note, okay, this was the last time it was hit, went off the wall, and oh wow, Casper creating a smoke screen off of that demo turned everyone sideways. They all went leaping for it, had no idea their teammate would be just completely eviscerated in real time. So, hey, sometimes the last touch you take and everything falls thereafter, and that's going to be the first goal on the board. Temple, I need to see the same identity we got from them in game 1.
Yeah, they have to be out there, have to be confident, and the challenge has to come quick because King's College Red, they're just so much quicker, it seems, in these moments. And it's all about positioning at the end of the day, especially at this level. You see, once again, they're always ready to strike. Well, except for that moment. JS was a little bit farther back than usual, and they still seem to find a way to get into the offensive zone. But this Temple tries carry by himself right now. They'll run into Connor. Back to the corner. Connor can't keep that one in. Instead, JAS taps it back. Trying to find Connor, who's upfield. That wasn't a grand opportunity to try to go 2-on-1, as Casper was the only one left back for King's College Red, but no sweat on his brow at all in defending that one and trying to push out here. But Temple had the bump out in front. But even when that develops, still King's College Red finds a way out.
I'm starting to get concerned that there might be a game glitch where the pitch is only half the size that it normally is for the Owls, because they had not been over the midfield line for a solid long time, like at least a minute worth of this game, and otherwise that's because King's College has been on an uptick rate of getting to each of these challenges. Now we've witnessed the Owls up the field a lot more here from the last 60 seconds or so. That pinball moment not exactly panning out. Casper's gonna have to take this one high. They nearly got the bump onto him. Nearly, I say I, but still, this was gonna drop out. They have a striker. Connor's gonna pitch it right back over to Casper's half. JAS wants to chase and move this much more laterally, so another double commit. This one is going to be calamity. Luckily, they were the one rotating forward, because otherwise King's College might have had themselves a second goal.
And that might spell the end of the series, it feels like, as Temple's been held to basically nothing whatsoever. They've gotten 4 goals total, I believe, in this series. Actually 5. if I can actually count. But there's an opportunity, Calamity, right on cue. Well, there you go. They'll equalize with 2:10 left. A much-needed goal from Temple Esports White.
Great pickup. Hey, you know what? If it has to be off of mistakes, the consistency on defense needs to thrive, and that's what the Owls are able to make happen. Living long enough, doing just enough, seeing if you can catch the Monarchs slacking and lacking on their own back line. Big demo from out of Casper, happening again. Last time it happened, it turned into a goal. This time, though, this is proceeding in the opposite direction. They send a dagger. They're trying to dive. Can they be able to crit on through? Looking to get underneath the defender. Cannot do so.
Back onto it is Casper, touched away by Carey. Try to keep possession there. I like that effort, but it's all for nothing as this one will go right back down. A chance for Connor to try to put it off the hood of the last defender there from Temple, but it's out to Calamity. A little bit of wild action back and forth. That touch nasty from Casper. What an assist. King's College back on top.
Brother haunts him regardless if he's killing him or if he's throwing him. Great undercut touch, fantastic pass, and Connor, he knew the assignment. Be on the opposite side post. Let that one evolve from one corner to the opposite side. And bang, you're going to have that opportunity to get that lead on back. Temple, they've got to realize that the clock is no longer their friend. They've got to find an offense to exist, and they've got to do it a lot more often in the next 80 seconds.
Yeah, they just tend to just be shadowing. Even if they're in the offensive zone, it's like you have teammates behind you, go and jump for it. Great opportunity from Carey, but again shut down. Connor been large in this series. That shot also handled. JAS just trying to get it past, and a big clear here will kill more time for King's College.
All the way back. King's College knows how to supplant a team backwards, and they've been doing so against the Owls. They have a chance to at least get one extra look at that defensive half of the Monarchs. Monarchs, though, very disciplined. They're sending one man up, and then they have one floating as a sweeper. That's exactly what Connor's doing. Soft double commit as they have someone buried into the back wall. Temple, they need to get a striker. They have it in the form of Dufern. They're going to push it off to the corner. This may be their last gasp as existing in this series. Oh my goodness!
No!
Calamity! Oh!
Unlucky, couldn't get to it. It was wide open right there, and they just didn't expect that one to hit off the crossbar there. Caught him by surprise. You still got to push, though. Here's 10 seconds left. Dufern tries to push it in. This one left back to King's College Red. St. Calamity back across. Wide open. No, not again. Still trying to get to it. Carey, it's going to be killed. King's College Red will hold off for the sweep. A 4-0 victory over Temple Esports White.
Two big opportunities. One off of a pass, and one when you just had no idea that it would be so free. I feel for Calamity into that moment. 5 shots they were able to get. They have only the one goal to show for it, and the one that mattered the most, just outstretched arm and couldn't get the job done. That's going to come up short. So a couple of tough weeks for the Owls through this one. A 4-0 sweep against them in week number 2 and a Game 7 loss in week number 1. Temple's in the competition state. I want to see them be able to kind of keep their confidence. This is going to be a tough pill to swallow this time around, but let's go to Kings. Kings looks fantastic right now. The addition of JAS and then their regular roster from the fall, everything about him is looking just really solid.
Yeah, they were solid when Falchek was in there. JES comes in and does things. We didn't even see Vastrain, the captain of this squad, and yet they're still doing big things. Shout out director Adam Cebulka out there, and head coach Rebecca Rica, assistant coach Amy Santiana. I mean, if you put together a team that's looking this sharp in Division 6, you're certainly doing something right. This was somewhat developing into a rivalry, if it's not already. Yeah, again, the North versus South and Kings versus Temple, respectively, was a good one. You know, game 1 went to overtime, and you thought Temple was going to be able to kind of pull something together in that last game as well. So all things considered, super close match. But King's College Red, they certainly have a lot of upside, but I would argue Temple Esports White does as well.
You're going to see how they progress throughout the season. They got 5 more weeks to see if they can move into a playoff position. But for right now, we're going to be moving into a break and then setting up for our Division 2 matchup. It's the second squads from both of our perennials, as Winthrop Eagles will be going against BPC's JV team. This is their first entry into NECC. You don't want to miss it. More of that in Rocket League on the horizon right after this short break.
explore. Imperfect visions like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand. Tell me this is real and it will never end. This is not what I came here to find. Memories show that I'm out of time. See a shadow, don't know if it's mine, but I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand. Tell me this is real and it will never end. Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many drinks got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, 'cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem
wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out of. Try but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. 'Cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out of. Try but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
Welcome back, everyone. Collegiate Rocket League is live and online all over again. I'm Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside Bearlight, and we've got a Division 2 matchup for match number 2 of the evening. It's going to be some good old Eagles from Winthrop Academy Garnet going up against BPC. That is Bruton Parker Christian's JV team. Both these teams are at 1-0 and in slightly different ways. Game 7s, sweeps, week 1, a little bit crazy, but let's check out the roster.
Yeah, no doubt. Bruton Parker College coming in, their JV team, Wish, Manny, and Coke All-Star Kyler, who I know from Stay Plugged In back in the day, and definitely some difference makers there. Kyler in particular, very strong player, so they'll look to man that squad. But the Winthrop Garnet team I've gotten to know very well. So the bordering state teams of Georgia versus South Carolina, where Winthrop exists, is Nikari, Monster King, and Phantom. Nikari, the name is Burger in Game, and those three have been absolutely dynamic, not only here in NECC, but in other places as well. They come in 1-0 currently, but Bruton Parker College, you can say the exact same. They both started off with the victory, so they're both 1-0 here in NECC.
BPC's JV team, this is their first time fielding this team, especially into this competition. So this is going to be their debut semester here with the NECC. And what a cut! We get it from Nikari, call him the burger. That one's got some good toppings. as they make the first score in a big way.
Monster King set him up, and then that touch is brutal for the defense of BPC to try to read. That was disgusting from Burger, showing off why Winthrop Garnet is coming into this red hot. Now, that being said, though, they lost in C3 just yesterday to a USC team that they also lost in the championships of that region. So because of that, they might be hungry coming out. So expect nothing but some sure grit here from the Winthrop Garnet team.
They actually just treated week number 1 to a sweep against UCF Knights, so a good 4-0 to start things off. And you definitely, you kind of nailed it there. They're looking to get very red hot to go into this week 2 of NECC. And on the other side of things, Winthrop Academy Garnet, this is a squad that went very deep into the Division 2 playoffs of the East region when we were in the fall. They fell short against what was a surprise Cleveland State esports squad, who ended up being the number 8 seed, going all the way into the grand finals through a lower bracket run. But Winthrop, they took down their cross-state rival in the form of USC, who was red hot that semester as well. So a lot of good talent on this pitch overall. BPC hoping to find their first trek here onto the pitch.
And that one's left open. Nobody's able to get back to it, so Manny will be able to punch one in. We'll equalize here. Didn't look like much work going there. Monster King must have misread it. Thought that they were going to get a touch that was a little bit stronger. Left the door wide open. Parker College says, thank you very much.
It's a strong team overall. I was talking to their coach a little bit before. Shout out over to Corrupt. He got to play in a few of the leagues that it set up back in the day. And this is a team apparently that has all vibes. They said that they only communicate through zoo noises. So, you know, maybe is not good for stopping Monster King's shot here.
From the Monkey Man himself. We love it. Monster King found that angle, able to bury that one as well. This is going to be a team that is very frustrating to play up against, and I'm referring to Winthrop Garnet because T. Carell has coached this team, and let me tell you, they're one of the most boost-hungry teams, but in a good way, in the way that they'll steal your boost instantly. Their boost control is unbelievable. I've been witnessing that for the last couple of weeks, and because of that, it makes it very difficult to play up against. Shout out T. Carell for coaching this team in that way, who actually turned 25 just the other day, February 8th, so happy late birthday to T. Carell. But Kyler's trying to spoil the party there.
You're talking about him being a Coca-Cola All-Star. Well, the dude knows how to be able to take a pass and slam it on home, especially top shelf. Hey, T. Carell now can rent a car. So
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. 25. That's when you can officially be trusted to operate a motor vehicle that you don't own. So, you know, look forward to that, college kids.
Nothing else you...
3 minutes. What else can you do?
Nothing until you're 35 and you're president. Become president. That's like the only other thing to look forward to.
Well, wait, the other ones, I think, becoming a senator. No, we'll get into politics of it overall, but everyone, I think, has their own goal here from the side of Winthrop.
Yeah, sharing the love. How this team operates for sure. Burger able to set them up right in the middle. So, Bruton Parker College definitely has a handful, but they've answered 1 for 1 every single time within a very short time frame. We'll see if they draw something up off the kickoff. So we'll find Kyler. Pop it past one. Not going to be able to catch up to that one, but a touch will play it high. Now a 1v1 situation. They're getting bumped on the back end. Shot on the far post. It'll be defended away by Burger.
Taking sweet time. Want to be able to angle this outwards. I was talking with Monster King a little bit, who was coordinating some of this moving into tonight's stream, and they were talking about how they are now a freestyler. Well, they present themselves an opportunity to try and get something working up this pitch. And it works out pretty well. They had to bump away one man, but this is BPC. It ends up just taking advantage of an open sky.
Easy doing. 2:15 left, and we're right back where we started. Even grounds. See who can't take advantage of it. It's been a very obvious pattern of Winthrop, BPC, Winthrop, BPC. As that try and continue working. Bruton Parker College JV team get their first lead of the series. Yet to be seen. Monster King was answered there on the sidewall. Burger all the way to the ceiling. He'll try to find Phantom. Good passing play. Wish on the back check. Able to swat that one away. Now he's in pursuit as well. Ran out of boost. Doesn't care. Still on this ball. It'll fall back down where Kyler's on it. Back off that ceiling. Handled well by the defense of Winthrop, but a great passing play backed out. And that one's also defended by Phantom.
Really good fundamentally, especially as they're operating at a very quick velocity to be able to challenge into some of these. That's a great pickup by Phantom. They've got a free look, maybe 2 of them. They have to force them to jump. Monster King will finish it off. Look at this jump off. We've been seeing Kyler kind of stuck on an island. He joins the party a little bit late, doesn't have a lot of boost, and Monster King knows he has so much time to let this ball fall right back onto his hood and get that late shot.
And it was the flip reset that actually threw it off his car and then slowed down his car enough to be able to get to it. But yet every single time we see Winthrop put one on, BPC JV has had an answer. We go back and forth constantly.
That's going to be what? Manny gets their Hattie, so they're 3 for 4 from the pitch. And like you mentioned, it's never left well enough alone. So our first game went to overtime by virtue of a crazy defense versus a crazy offense in Division 6. Division 2 might be the very same, but everything's getting scored out here.
It is completely opposite. It's been clean play, except for a couple of breakdowns defensively. That's all we've seen. But other than that, it's been just offensive onslaught. Super fun for the viewers. We appreciate you joining us if you are here. That's Manny that takes a shot far aside, but Phantom all the way back down. Handled by Kyler. Interrupted by Phantom, but back up and back out here from BPC, who still hasn't led despite this 4-4 goal scoring phenomenon. Had an opportunity there with the demo. Burger now off that sidewall, found Monster King. And it just should chip out here from BPC, but they'll give up possession as Phantom wants to find their way out. Ticking down to about 30 seconds left and still no ground. Finally, a break from the goal scoring we saw earlier.
Creating an anxious step. Kyler was at that midfield mark, just looking to kind of hedge their bets towards the front arc of that defensive side. They're looking to beat them back if they can. Burger is going to take this one back. Not enough speed to be a true threat. Going to look for that midfield boost. Does so. Manny wants to climb the line. He has nearly all the goals. Can he find another one? He's going to be an option. He's going to be across the pitch pre-flip. Looking to find another chance from the top boards. Kyler's going to let them have one extra opportunity. A slam home! Make-A-Wish Foundation just got it as BPC gets one late.
And just keep fighting through. And this one barely squeaked by. Monster King was holding that post. But in true Carolina fashion, an own goal technically, as that one goes in. The real one's in Carolina, no. But that was just unfortunate for Winthrop, who fought off everything. We'll credit BPC. Bruton Parker College was there consistently, putting that pressure on and getting that last goal as well. And their shot count definitely showed it.
We've got ourselves a heck of a series on our hands. If that first game is multiplied across all the rest of our games, you and I may be here for a while. That was a wonderful showcase of not just like you see the score, you're like, all right, 5-4. That's a 9-game hauler. That's actually kind of crazy. But it's not like there wasn't defense. Just the way that they were able to cleverly and quickly get the ball to one another off of some of those exterior bounds passes. Like the initial attempt from that final one that gave a chance over to the Barons to get that game in 0-second time, started from that right corner, evolved into another pass that then went over to Manny, and then they gave themselves one floater that finally just judged in. So this one, we could end up going to like a 2-1 or a 1-0 in this next game. What a treat for that first game.
It was great, man. And you bring up a solid point. Bruton Parker College, they looked like USC out there. The SJT to OG combination found each other consistently, and they made something out of nothing a lot. And that is really something that you have to do against Winthrop. Not to mention that boost nullification that I mentioned, where Winthrop is absolutely going to steal your boost. You can't do it if you're that quick. Like Bruton Parker College is, if you're trained to be able to fight something like that off, you can certainly get the upper hand. And I mean, you got to look back to all the times that Winthrop got those goals early, and every single one of them answered. Otherwise, Bruton Parker College wouldn't even have been in a position to win in the first place.
And it's so well defined as well, what you've been talking about for just their resource consumption, and as well as being greedy with it against BPC. They had one man that was at 90% boost just a second ago go to their own back corner. They sensed that a Baron player was nearby, and they took that corner. They're like, I'm not going to worry about my teammate right now. I'm making sure you got nothing. So they want to priority make sure that this entire pitch is dry. If you are BPC. Manny rather, it's going to get a freebie as this one ends up just dead on the goal line.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly how this went awry. Manny just, it was going to go, I think it was going to go bar down. I'm not sure if it was or not, but you have to take that chance, I feel like. You have to be able to try to swat it out from the goal line there. Fortunately, it bit him because it could have been high. You never know. Look, as Winthrop's trying to answer themselves off the kickoff. This one is a 1-for-1 showcase, and I'm here for it.
One of them score most recently and twice in a row is BPC's JV squad. They took that one in 0-second time. I think it hung for about 5 to 10 seconds at the end of regulation there in game number 1. Winthrop is used to being the one that's a trendsetter, the go-getter, the initiator for this lead exchange. Over the top of one. Not a lot of boost there for Wish. He at least forces one high to let his teammate not only respawn, but his team kind of separates. In the first 100 seconds now, he elapses here into game number 2, and BPC still has the lead.
Phantom back out, finds Monster King. Kyler able to fend off this one. Burger couldn't make contact. Rare miss there from Winthrop. This one will be back out to center. That one's wide open as well. Shot taken, easy money. Bruton Parker College certainly having their way. Wish's second of the series will make it 2-0.
Awkward collection right now because Burger ended up ahead of Monster King in that rotate because they both went into the same line. Now Burger was facing across the goal line, so he was cycling that corner, but Monster King had already committed into that basically back quadrant. So whenever he had to go and defend against it, that shot was behind him and he couldn't adjust quickly enough. So very smart play by BPC, recognizing when there was an overcommit by the Eagles. So nearly at the midway mark, this one is a smoke screen. Oopsies, hands it off to the Burgermeister. They cut this lead in half.
It's what Winthrop needs to do. They have to be able to answer the physicality. You know, when that demo comes out, you want to be able to go 1-for-1. And because they took out the last member back, makes it very easy for the Eagles. With them guard it, right back within that one. Certainly don't want to let things get away from you. Remember the last time we saw a super close matchup was last matchup in that Division 6 matchup. The team that lost in overtime really fell apart over the course of the rest of the series. For Winthrop, they lost in a 0-second goal. Feels exactly the same, so to see them back within one is encouraging, to say the least.
A lot of experience and veteranship, though, exists with these kinds of programs as well as these kinds of players. So they know that the first game, it means it's at least a spark. It's not the entirety of a series, and that's fantastic value that comes out not only from these players overall, but as well as their coaching staff and otherwise. So very winning style collegiate programs craft some fantastic players into even greater champions. 2 minutes to go. BPC under threat as this one booms to their backboard, and there wasn't really a present defender. They got someone that's going to rotate down. Winthrop Garnet, though, is just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what will stick.
And sometimes you just got to be experimenting as things don't quite go your way over the, a couple minutes or so elapsed. I won't let that as a freebie, but Phantom didn't want to commit as a third back with a demo. That'll be your cue. Dives into the box, but nobody there to support as Burger got there a little bit late. Had boost in the tank, though, as Monster King will also 50 here at midfield. But Phantom push back, and now you got to be careful. Big bump from Monster King will set up the play here for Winthrop. What could have been disastrous for them turns into the equalizer.
Phantom giving his teammate a high five, keeps cycling around, and honestly, you and I probably would not expect Manny to be caught up in the spin cycle there that Phantom was able to evolve from that midline, because he was right behind that ball, but it was the widest cut ever from the right to the left that moved that ball adjunct to where his car was going to jump to. So keeping consistent, keeping with the play, and now they're going to put another one dead on target. Burger at least gets one stoppage. That's going to be a tackle on, and then twice it kisses the goal line.
I'm convinced that Bruton Parker College left that first opportunity on the board just as a fake because they thought it was going to be saved, and then left it the far post, but they hit post again. So that was unfortunate for them. But look at the passing still connecting. That chance is going to go high, which looked to settle it down. Didn't quite get that touch on the support effort there at midfield. I'm not sure who that was, but you're able to at least keep it here and nullified for now. And with 37 seconds left, Monster King wanted to flip it away. Instead, flipped it right in the hands of Kyler, which going to be beat to it as well. Phantom on it. This is Burger trying to just push it right back in from the sidewall. thought that Kyler was going to be out there earlier. I thought if he went straight to that ball, he had the opportunity as well. 15 seconds left, and now it's Winthrop trying to push back out to midfield. This one will go high. Berger now trying to find a teammate, but leaves possession for Bruton Parker instead. Up for it already. Manny off the back wall, but this is pinched. Now the other direction. Almost had that play in transition, but Winthrop goes just off the mark. We have overtime.
BPC tossed everything upfield. They didn't think that the demo was going to come through. They only had one man to really force the Eagles to have to roost for a little bit. But it was scary to say the least. They had boomed that out, allowed a possession to manifest for Winthrop. And they took a shot. But good news for the Barons. We're in overtime. Very close have both games been. This one, half strength of what the offensive output was. They have a third man on deck to send this one to midfield. Kyler and Manny will be the dynamic duo to try and make this one work out. Kyler with a setup. He gets a bump. Manny will be there. Backboard styling. Can he get it down? No, this one will have to float.
Monster King on it as well. We're going to have Kyler up there causing issues. And Berger just left it there too. But the weak touch will leave it for Phantom. Wide open net, but wasn't able to convert. And they're still on it too. Bruton Parker College just want a little bit of relief now. As Phantom on it, Winthrop is so quick getting downfield that you can't take your foot off the gas pedal for 1 second. Otherwise, they're going to be right there next to your goal, looking to punch it in.
Deep breath, hands on the chest, clutching pearl necklaces as BPC, as this one nearly existed into the back line and would have had us a tie ball game. What in the world? If that goes in, that's not going to happen. Kyler will dig it out. He had bumped Phantom into an assist possibility to go across that goal line. Still, BPC is like, what kind of devil are we facing off against? It keeps just coming up with some random crazy luck.
A pull shot in 2026? What? Hello? Almost worked out for him. Monster King off this corner. Is a follow there. Well, not in time. Not at all, actually. Phantom will go right back high. Look for the teammate. Monster King back down. Shot there. Answered nicely. Big save from Manning. Now it's the other way. Kyler tried to find the pass, but that one was telegraphed. Now Berger and Winthrop in transition. This is where they're so deadly. And right now, Phantom wants it again. Extra touch was across, but Berger was just a little bit too close. Had he been across the field, would have been great. Now in transition the other way. What end-to-end Rocket League we got, Monkey Man?
We're getting very narrow margins of difference, and they're gonna dive! Kyler! Splitting the difference between defender and left side post. I was gonna say that BPC had been just so few opportunities, but the few they've been getting, they've been banking.
I love that for Kyler, man. Me and him really close over the Stay Plugged inside. A good friend of mine during that time frame. Good to see him absolutely popping off in the biggest of moments, and that is a hard pill to swallow on the other side of the coin. Winthrop Garnet, that close twice. First a 0-second goal, then an overtime loss as well. They're so good in transition. However, Bruton Parker College has been doing enough to fight that off, to fight the offenses there, to fight the boost control in addition to that, and that's why they had this series 2-0 instead when it could have easily flipped the switch and been a 2-0 from Winthrop.
They were treating Phantom like his name was Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy and using him to beat the heck out of that ball. They threw him into the corner and just were using him as a battering ram, just sweeping around the perimeter. Some of you are OGs and know that show, by the way. Shout out if you do. But wow, okay, so chaos abound. Felt like Winthrop was trying to manifest just whatever's in the magician's hat, but now we've seen two games, one very close offensively ends on just a dramatic 0-second, ender. And then this one that found a pretty deep OT. And it was a comeback by the Eagles. Eagles this time around, they weren't in the driver's seat. As much as those cars were moving, they weren't dictating what this pitch looked like. Should be able to get something close at least on this initial rip. But Winthrop Garnet, got to feel like they want to score first this time.
Oh, absolutely. And it's definitely tough. But if you look at the Bruton Parker College side, that certainly speaks volumes of this JV team. I mean, the fact that even if you're behind, you still have confidence that you can come back and answer every goal and win at 0 seconds. Or if you're in front as well and you see the lead start to dissipate, you can still gather yourselves in an overtime victory. So I like this team's conscience coming into this one. I think they have a very strong head on their shoulders, and they're looking to get right back to it as well. But Phantom makes a big save early here, As BPC right back to what they were doing. That one crossbar as well, but it'll stay out. Now follow-up is there. Shot taken, and another big save from Monster King. Still not done. Another shot, and that one was probably the weakest of all of them, but it does find its way in. So BPC will take the lead.
Consistency. Look how everyone from Winthrop Garnet wanted to finally leave the net, but no one knew who was the true third man anymore. Those first two shots pushed everyone from off of the back wall, used all their flips that they had used in succession, got them out of position. This one might be able to find early. What a save by Manny, but the boost had been used. And so Winthrop Garnet wasn't prepared for the next successive shot. So BPC, JV, by the way, hold this thought, as they have a couple of big demos, just an honest shot forward. They haven't dropped a game yet from week 1 to 2. 6 straight games.
Yeah.
They are currently undefeated, and Winthrop Garnet has got to put a smudge on these guys.
On fire, and maybe taking advantage of Winthrop when they're the most vulnerable after having lost yesterday. So now Berger tries to get back to it. The pinch back down. That should be relatively free. It is. Monster King will take that punch in. Easy does it. Winthrop back here, equalized. 3:31 left.
Rollover by Berger. Makes that touch out. That goes to the top of the box, and they basically force Wish, who was kind of facing that near side post, to have to dive in reverse. So he makes that longer turn, and that's a bit slower. So good gap control. Berger's opposite this. Monster King might be able to just drop it in. Hey, using those freestyler moves to full effect, they get the lead.
Just thinking that the way he glues it to his car whenever he gets to it, that extra flick, that gets you right on it. And then you can just guide it home. Even if that one bounces off the side, off the post, you're able to position your car in a way to tap it in. So great focus and energy there from Winthrop Garnet. Another first lead in a while. So that's good news for them as well. Get back up on top, but we know how Bruton Parker can answer. We saw it so many times in game number 1, almost saw it again. In fact, they're still not out of harm's way yet, as Kyler still on it. And this one after another, the rotations offensively for Bruton Parker College. I mean, it has been absolutely relentless over the last couple of games.
Look at the abuse that's happening right now of Manny, forcing the defender to have to just be into his windshield. I was thinking that if that shot was a little bit faster, they might have been able to take advantage when they had him about 5 feet deep in the net. Now, Phantom and company, I mean, look to the top left of your screen. There's not been a lot of boost overall for the Eagles. They have a surplus right now. BPC, and on average, has held about 50 boosts to their name versus what I'm seeing much more into the teens and 20s out of Garnet. They like to be able to go and get that boost, but they're being denied that key resource. And not just in Rocket League, but to their coaching. They want to dominate this pitch and hold that. Now, they've still got these 2 goals. They got the one that's above BPC, but BPC's trying to be able to win them in the macro game now.
Monster King has some issues there. A little bit of a back flip that maybe wasn't intended, or maybe it was, because they stayed with possession. Phantom quick flick. That'll force one up. It's Wish on the back line. Berger was there to try and challenge him, try to rush him a little bit, but it was unsuccessful overall. Look at Monster King stay in that play. At virtually just fluttering some boosts there. And midfield eventually got that touch away. It was just enough to hold and buy time for the rest of the team. That pass play, Monster King there in a hurry to shut that one down before it even began.
Tip of the nose type shot. That was going to be so quick. Phantom's going to try and lay this one down. And again, they are being met. Both teams throwing one last man up so that the key striker can't let that one through. Phantom with an off-pace knuckleball. Let's see how this one came about. Monster King just rode that wall, got it past that backboard defender, and well, Kyler was expecting this one to have some heat.
Yeah, he was guessing there on the far side and said, well, you know, it's not one that you thought was going to be a little bit of a change up there. So, hey, Winthrop Garnet back on top and in comfortable fashion now for once. We remember what happened in game 1, or at least if you're Winthrop Garnet, you should. That one's going to be wide open as well. So, suddenly a little bit of a breakdown for BPC. I don't think Winthrop Garnet's doing much different than what they've been doing the past couple of games. It's just BPC's left the door open a couple times.
That one was off of Manny because Wish was deep up into the front side of that midfield line. And Manny just decided, all right, this is my all-in. I'm going to jump on top of this. That just comes down to a timing moment. Soon as you reveal your cards, well, the only one left to play is to let that ball go over you. So good looks here by the Eagles. They've got themselves a 3-goal lead. This has definitely been building upon their largest lead in the entirety of our 3 games. And it looks very promising for us to at least see them split up this series and not have a second sweep on the night.
It's definitely goals. Put it on the list. Brewton Parker College, that rotation that's typically there, not there, but the demo will get them right back to it. Here's Kyler with a great try on the double touch. Second follow-up opportunity, and rebound chance is going to be denied. And Wish not going to be able to steal that boost either, so Phantom up to the ceiling. Wanted to be able to get it and stay in that challenge. Flipped himself back into play, try to get in the way of the ball. Try to deflect it away before Brewton Parker College can get back on it. They still have another shot opportunity, and Phantom now to try and touch it away. Still caught well by Manny. Great job to kind of settle that one too away from Berger, but that one's going to be stopped in its tracks, and Monster King with that shot on to kill enough time here at this point in time. So Winthrop Garnet with a much-needed game win here after struggling the past couple of games to get over the hump, it would seem, and not even letting that last one in either. They'll be now 2-1 in the series in favor of Brewton Parker College.
And Parker just kind of fading out from that latter 2 minutes of this game, even after having 13 shots to just the 9 in comparison out of Winthrop. It was their defense that really kind of stood up late term, didn't let them even have a spark that would flow into game number 4. We are guaranteed in game number 5, in case you guys don't know how BO7s work. Well, there you go. So for Garnet, I mean, felt like they took over the first 2 minutes. That's what really needed to happen. And for BPC, much of it just was like, all right, we can't get the quick stride happening. We weren't able to win our 2-on-1s, and give a lot of kudos over to that long-standing defense. Like, we got to see it out of Monster King. Again, speak to them. They told us that they apparently have become a freestyler, starting to see presence of that by being able to kind of navigate their way through some of that pressure, playing a lot of good shadow defense to stop some of those strikes on that would otherwise target their net.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably gonna, roast me as far as cliches go, but it really is all about confidence. And here's why I say this. Okay, hear me out here, everybody in chat that's like, oh yeah, he's using a buzzword here. Every single game that Winthrop's won this year in NECC has been absolute stomps. Like, they've been really one-sided affairs. That one you kind of count to some degree, but we're talking like 6-1s, 6-2s, 5-1s, somewhere in that range. Again, a 4-1. So whenever they lose, it's by a super close margin. So if they have that confidence, they're absolutely rolling. And the only ones they've lost are when they're super close. And the fact that they've got this momentum and we're seeing plays from Phantom like that, faking them, well, they got all the confidence in the world running into this game number 4.
I saw presence of evidence from the past two games prior to that game number 3. Both teams trying to do a lot of floor pinches. This time around, Phantom's like, you know what? I was treated like some kind of crazy backboard. I can also be treated like a glove. And I can catch this ball, and I will boot, scoot, boogie it directly into the net. They do so very quickly. So BPC been put on alert. As it's what? That was a 4-1 ender, so it's a 5-1 difference from through that game now through the first minute here of game number 4. Winthrop Garnet, really looking kind of like Garnet of old, or rather Winthrop of old. BPC have been separated. Seems like they're strangulating their own rotation. They got a 2-on-1 right now. Where's the man? Oh, he goes flying by.
Berger is right here. Has no boost in tank, but still going to make a play, or at least try. Tyler's right there with the tank of boost. How many times have we said that? Full control here again for Brewton Parker College. The Monster King had enough, just enough to be able to tap it out, but he gave away possession here to Manny. As they're right back on it as well. Sidewall, Phantom chops it out, which tries to punch it back in. I think he was looking for Kyler there, but Kyler had peeled off the play to try to get some boost in the play the other way. Big save from Manny. Now the rebound chance is also shut down there as well. Brewton Parker College's defense, right spot, right time. Now you got Kyler right back to it, but shut down on the other side as well.
Zoo had been quiet for a little bit too long. The animals woke up as the keepers finally came in and gave them some old snacks. So they started chewing away at opportunities like that. Still haven't come away with a goal. And he gets a demo, making another one as Wish, I think, end up getting pushed by somebody to turn someone into dust. It's trying to be returned in kind by the Eagles as Monster King aims to keep BPC now sequestered backwards. Phantom with disruption, followed by Berger. It doesn't have much depth to it. This is just a lot of kind of back quadrant cycling by the Eagles, but they've got the lead right now. They can burn some of that extra clock.
That's what they're choosing and electing to do here, as Phantom knew that that pass wasn't going to make it through, but it did kind of buy a little bit of time. And also, you never know. Maybe you can force a double commit out there at this point. So Phantom's going to stick to this one. Goes wall to wall into Rocket League, back down the pitch here. Waiting for it is Wish. We'll find Monster King instead. Looking for that bump, too. That was a good idea. He was the last one back, and Kyler would have been positioned correctly in that moment. Strong arm play from Phantom. It'll ring off the post, and Kyler with a big touch to get it back out to midfield.
A vulnerable moment there for BPC. There was two players, Manny and Wish, that had no boost, and Kyler was the last one to have it, but they at least find one collection. Kyler, weird and awkward moments as Burger's just staring him down. Telling him, hey, come and jump at this. You're going to let me get a 50-50 off of you. That's a strike on target. They forced the rotation out. That'll be a second goal from the Eagles. They just forced BPC's hand.
Yeah, it's Wish. Saul Manny, sometimes when you're in those moments defensively, you're looking around, who can I get the ball to get this ball out? And you see a car and you immediately think that they're in the right position to be able to jump out and get the touch away from defenders. It's not that one person completely failed that opportunity. It's just a misread, and at the end of the day, just got to brush it off the shoulders here. Winthrop Garnet took advantage of it, yes, and they might take advantage of another one if they're not careful here. But 2-0 certainly not out of the range of possibilities, especially what we saw BPC do in game number 1.
This is exactly the pace right now. If the score were to settle, that happened last week of Winthrop Garnet eventually taking down Kennesaw State Premier B. They lost the first 2 games, won the next 2 games, traded, and then got the last 2 when it was necessary to eventually take down the Owls. Will that happen again? BPC has 70 seconds to get their first one on the board here for game number 4, but they have been scoring not by the truckload that they're kind of used to for keeping pace with this offensive trade-off. Instead, it's been very narrow. What a save by Phantom to make sure that stays as a shutout.
It's been a couple staying true to his name. Had no idea where he was at first. Came out of nowhere. Came out of the ether to make that save. Man, he's going to have to recollect himself on the corner. That touch is not a good one, but he made up for it real quick, as you had to. Otherwise, that was an easy goal there from Winthrop. Good job to see him recover there and kind of calm things down. Here it goes, still looking for it. Kyler up high. Wanted to be able to find his man, but again, Berger just reading it so well. And I think Winthrop has done enough to at least kill some time. Bruton Parker's got to try to collect things and move quickly.
Don't have a lot in the tank to be able to do it too. Manny's going to be up there. Wish is going to be the last one on deck, and that's going to clear and ice this out. It was 2-0. BPC, they had brought their swords and they were ready to fight, but the Barons have been kicked back and flown off the mountain by the Eagles as they now have joined that upper peak with them. It's going to be 2-2 going to game number 5. Winthrop Academy Garnet has gotten ourselves into a very tight series.
Even grounds. We saw in game 1 how Bruton Parker College was able to answer goal for goal. Well, Winthrop says we can answer back in games played as well. So that a little bit of how I can't confidently say it was discouragement there in the comms when we talk about games 1 and games 2. So close, but not being able to pull it out. But they've looked a lot stronger since that point in time, and shutting out this Bruton Parker College JV team is pretty stout, especially the way that they operate, and the way that they've been able to do that is by reading the play a little bit earlier as well. I think, Bruton Parker College JV, we're just raving about their ability to find a teammate in the middle and just be able to kind of play that ball game, but it can be very readable, especially when Winthrop's good on that attack and counter-attack as well. It's just, it can make it very difficult to go up against, and Winthrop has found the right end of some ball luck a couple of times as well, not to mention when you add that with the defense that we saw from Phantom. It's a good combination to have here for Winthrop.
They're making their own fortunes too. Much of what we've seen is division from plays like what Berger has done. Phantom, obviously, at the beginning of that entire game number 4. And I mean, Monster King, much the same. This entire team has been operating very purely through how can they beat the initial man into a very solid ego check. Then what can they do to give a great zone play over to one of their teammates? BPC, as soon as they've been divided by some of those, they cannot recover. The passes are just not been available. They've been able to find these reads, and so much of it, even at a high pace, has been telegraphed just enough for the Eagles to divide and conquer. Now, BPC can start striking fast like we know they can and gain just that little bit of extra space. might be able to finally capitalize, but Eagles might be going to work here.
When you let the Eagles get settled in like they are currently, it makes it way more difficult. If you're not going to win the boost battle, it suddenly becomes insurmountable as far as what Winthrop can put on. So I'd like to see them get right back to that, be able to control the play. They're a little bit late to challenges, but that one won't harm them as they were able to get that clear. But Phantom still in an awkward spot. Here's Wish, taps it down, has a teammate, but a good read again there from Monster King to shut them down defensively. Kyler right back up to the sky, but Nullify with a big bump there at midfield.
That was a very speedy back pass. It went over the midfield line where Kyler was waiting, but they read that one the whole way too from out of Winthrop Garnet. Trying to chase it down. Get a demo on a Monster King, creates a smoke screen. Wish is just going to go up with no boost. There are no boosts. Warrior, though, they find one solid touch. They may get another one. This is going to be an undercut, I think, from out of Manny. Does end up being skied out as it's punted. Now, again, I speak to the Week 1 series that Winthrop took over Kennesaw. They went to a game, game number 7, where they eventually won it. That game 5 was dropped out, and maybe this will be the same recovery lane for the Barons.
You gotta wonder if that's kind of a pattern that could repeat itself. They certainly want to be the ones recognized as the ones that can create those chances when they show themselves. Berger is up ceiling high here. Wish is right back on it too. Be looking around for a teammate here in this moment. Phantom trusting the defense from Monster King. It eventually got there, but still in dangerous spot here. Berger awkward to it. Luckily for them, BPC wasn't ready for it positionally. And this will hang out at midfield. Monster King, no boost in the tank, gonna be demoed off it. He'll get a free 33 and a respawn on the defensive side of the pitch. And here's where Winthrop Garnet tries to get right back to it. Berger off the back wall. Follow-up is there, but Wish with a good read. Big clear now. Kyler's got numbers, tries to hurry with it, but Phantom does enough there in that corner to again buy time for his teammates to cycle around.
This game is sprinting away, Bear. 2.5 minutes have already gone by. BPC has had some solid looks, and they have had vulnerable moments where Winthrop Garnet has had no boost. So several seconds, I believe at least 10 to 15 seconds or so, where collectively the team had about 40 spread between them. They've got to jump at those moments. Obviously, you don't straight up know it, but as they began to slow down, they had them all planted to the floor. Now Berger spotting Monster King. He's going to get behind him, and Monster King is going to take this open grass position and stand. Phantom has plenty to be able to rock and roll defensively, and they will boom this one away. Stepping up is Kyler. That ends up being a drop zone. You got to be very worried if you're BPC. Everyone's right in front of your net. They went out on 50. He's going to get that save off the post. The failure gung this time is successful.
Super lucky that Manny was coming across in that moment. That's not exactly where you wanted to be positionally. It still worked out for you. But Berger has now got it off back wall. It's going to be a tough read there for the defense, but Berger, tough read for him as well. Wasn't able to take advantage of it. Right back down. Monster King floats one. Wish will be able to shut it down. Berger right back to it, and Winthrop's starting to look like BPC did in game number 1 with all these follow-ups. And Bruton Parker College looked that way the next couple of games as well, but they certainly have gotten that bag of tricks right where they want them. This game has ticked down super quick. We're almost to a minute left, and an opportunity here for Bruton Parker College, but another big defensive play from Winthrop.
Had a boost for all of a moment. BPC feels like they've got to strike while the iron is hot, and it's cooled off for them over the course of this game. They've got 75 seconds to go. Make less than that, actually, as we're hitting the minute mark. Winthrop Garnet, this will be the moment where you stop their momentum. They're going to try and get into Wish's grill. Berger's going to be there. It's a handoff, a great intercept, I believe by Manny. Kyler comes across from the corner. They cannot counterplay, though. Every time they get the ball away from the Eagles, they end up just slamming right back into another player at midfield. 30 seconds to go, Bear. BPC is on the ropes, but no one scored yet.
No, and they get an extra touch, but that one's left in the middle. When's the challenge coming? Finally, it does. Berger will be shut down. It's Phantom next to it next. Will be demoed off it. He's got support from Monster King. Will jump over one. Slow plays it. Try to get to the bump, but not in time. Right now, still left there. Berger wasn't able to get to it. Monster does. One left here, but he's pickpocketed there in the corner by Bruton Parker College. As they try to stay alive, they're going to let it hit the ground wisely. We go to overtime for game number 5.
Match point available for whoever gets the golden goal here in game 5. It only takes one goal to win. We've had tons of them in previous games. Kyler with a setup. Wish trying to climb the ladder. They do so. A threat, but that's all it is, as they cannot put any extra speed behind that shot. This one moves back upfield to Winthrop Garnet. It's another day at the office. Some more time on the orange half, but only briefly.
Yeah, now it's going to switch halves once again. Burger still hangs, and the patience of Winthrop is noticeable, both on the goal line and back out here at midfield. Now Wish now sends it all the way back. Played high by Phantom. Followed up on it as well. We'll go to the back wall. Wasn't able to get the back touch, and Manny tried to pinch it off, but it's right in the hands of Monster King. The Phantom not able to turn in time. This one right to Kyler. He's got a bump play there, but Phantom was there in support. Somehow knew that was going to be the case and got across to make yet another save. How many times have we said that in the series?
Minute into it, we may be saying it even more. UPC is finally in a great setup. Don't have a lot of boost to him. Kyler has to bail out. Manny much the same, and Manny's not going to bring this over to corner. He actually has a chance to push this across. Wish screaming through. The Barons outlasting the Eagles, and they take this one from just off perimeter. And Wish never gave up after Manny called his name.
Saw that he was beating the rush from Burger back. There was literally a foot race, a tire race, if you will, whatever you want to call it. And that's his second overtime winner from Wish in this series. Just ice cold in their veins. I wanted to say the same thing about Winthrop Garnet coming down to the final seconds of regulation and then into overtime. And they were pretty icy when we talk about the defense. But Bruton Parker College, JV team, able to hop to match point here at this side at this point in time. It's still following that same trend for Winthrop that we saw, that you called out, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you can never count out Winthrop, especially the way that they've been playing. But the fact that Bruton Parker College wins yet another close one, still got to say, I mean, obviously gives them an edge in games played, but also in the confidence department as well.
This is the exact same pattern as last week. 2 one way to the other. Game 5 goes to their opponent. Winthrop, literally, if they want to be 2-0 through the first 2 weeks of the Division II play, needs to absolutely repeat this pattern all over again. The ones that must stop them is the team that has newly joined us here with NECC. So Bruton Parker Christian has to be able to do it here right in game number 6. Also, shout out over to Manny. They straight up told us that I did a handstand in Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. He's got to feel like he was doing a handstand, what he had to do to be able to get that ball across that net and give Wish that chance. So this team is all vibes, all energy. They had to lock into this moment. Winthrop, they can do the same thing. That one, a very tight ball game, a 1-0 game. This one has the makings of feeling like it's got to break out.
Didn't have to stand on his head, instead stood on his hands. Or to make that happen. You know, got the rest of the support. Wish that Kyler's been just insane. Love to see them be able to contribute. And also be able to coordinate who was going to go for that one this year. That was equidistant. They somehow got that one out. Kyler plays it forward off the corner, tries to get the read, gets a good one, and beats the defender. Nice shot there from the Coke All-Star formerly. 1-0 BPC.
Off the corner to this read right behind Burger. That's one. All right, I'm going to equate this to my League of Legends players. That's when you say what the rest of the team is dead, you tell your ADC, hey, play safe. Burger was at the back post. And you're like, hey, man, don't rotate too far. He's like, I just left. But now Burger from end to end is putting a hot grill out there and tying us up.
Oh, Nakari, what I call him. What a play there. That flip, perfectly timed to beat you, and then the double touch, it just absolutely comes natural to this kid. He's dynamic when he needs to be. Got to talk to you when I visited Winthrop's esports offices just a couple of weeks ago, and the kid is just, number one, down to earth until he plays Rocket League, and then suddenly he's in the skies making plays like that.
Well, you gotta have awaken those demigod powers, or just be a juicy burger. Get the flavor. Oh, what a save. Manny denying Burger from having the two-piece. Burger trying to chase down maybe another opportunity. They're going to have to recoil backwards instead. One of their teammates was real low, and they got to that corner boost instead. And Burger is just aiming for disruption. Monster King wants to trampoline this one into a chance. He goes flipping to try and steal that corner boost, and often priority to get BPC a little low on boost. This one with Kyler, it's a drop down. What a save by Burger!
The dynamic solo plays in this have been so fun to watch, number one. But that one defended in that moment was just excellent as well. It's one of those times, like, it's almost like a team practice. It's super ideal where, like, your defense is playing extremely well. It makes the offense look bad from time to time. So you don't know who's the real hero, but everybody playing great in this lobby. And that fake was something different as well. Monster King will take that 2-1 now for Winthrop.
Great pass by Phantom, kept it low. Monster King forced Kyler to jump, and he's like, haha, made you look. Roped-a-doped it right underneath his car, and that tumbler now gives the Eagles this lead. BPC JV and everyone trying to strut their stuff after we went through a very fast clock, 5 minutes straight into an overtime for just a 1-0 game number 5. And game 6 is delivering.
Phantom, explain yourself. An accidental backflip in that moment. Oh, man, he's a great interview as well, but, you know, love the kid. He was probably beating himself up for that one, hopefully not for too much longer. But nothing really came of it. Britton Parker College wasn't able to take advantage of the accidental backflip. Gave away a lot of pitch space, but no harm done. Great touch from Berger, though. That one's wide open. Can they follow it up? Eventually they get there. It took long, Monkey, but they did. It'll be 3-1 now.
You have two defenders that immediately dash backwards to take on Berger because of course you do, and then they come right back over and Monster King just slaps that off the ground and gets it over him. So you had him sweeping one way, chasing another, and right now BPC, I mean, they've got this lead in the series, but Winthrop Garnet they have goldfish memory and it's paying off.
Not a disrespect to Winthrop, but the crazier that the game looks, the better they perform. So
yeah.
They just thrive in chaos, thanks to Corel. But it seems to be the case. Now right back to it also. It's always just the close games that get to Winthrop Garnet. I don't know what it is, but it's 100% accurate. And right now, Winthrop, if they get another goal, you feel super confident since they would be running away with it in that sense.
Sweaty games? No. Absolute chaos games and just throwing, everything at the wall? Sure. That's where the Eagles fly. Trying to rise up again. Berger has elevated into a different being. As Nakari themselves wants to be able to find an opportunity from the perimeter. Phantom will back off. Berger will be the main man. Monster King will be in support. There's a collapse between each other. That's going to be a chance. The Phantom did not bite.
Phantom again. So hard to get it past this one man. Imagine having the rest of the team be great at defending as well. So you can see what BPC is up against, but they still have the series lead. Literally just like a couple wrong moves, and this could be BPC closing out the series. There's Manny right back up to it. Trying the handstand again. Tries to get the bump out in front, gets one. This one's open, but Wish got a little bit urgent. Maybe a little bit too much, as they were not in the right place. Left it open for Phantom as well, but that one will go wide too. Chaos.
No touch one way and an overread the other direction beforehand. 65 seconds to go. BPC looks like they have definitely been suffering at the pace, the speed, and definitely whatever in the world the Eagles' kind of snack was eaten between games 5 and 6. Game 7, an inevitability if BPC cannot catch up here in the next 45 seconds. Berger and company doesn't feel like they're going to let him. Manny with a drop on. Kyler has no one in support because Wish was on their way out. And I feel like BPC might be on their way out and seeing a Game 7 soon.
Yeah, it does feel that way. But ironically, if they get another goal, they'll be favorites because, Winthrop can't win those one-goal games. Instead, Phantom barring in. 4-1 Winthrop Garnet. Looking like we're gearing up for it, Monkey. It'll be a Game 7 here, 26 seconds left, unless BPC can put together back-to-back-to-back goals.
They were not going to let you curse them with a one-goal game. They were not going to let that happen, Bear. Not at all. 23 seconds to go. A nail biter, to say the least. As we get BPC, it's all but decided to force its way into a game number 7. We're being given a treat here in this Division 2 match for week number 2 at NECC. Winthrop Garnet, it was a close one, 1-0. This one has a victory lap. And the Eagles have job left to be done. BPC JV, they need to calm the troops and then rally them, get them ready for the end of the series.
Yeah, you certainly do. If you're just joining us here and you're anticipating the Missouri State Missouri Southern State Gold facing off with UNC Asheville JV team. That'll be coming up just after this series, so we appreciate you hanging out with us, and you get a treat as well in the Game 7. So we wouldn't let you come in here for a boring series. No, no, no. Winthrop Garnet has been able to work their way into a Game 7 now against this team that's been super solid themselves, just cruising along with consistency until they were shut down offensively. In this one, Bruton Parker College JV trying to hold on to the series lead that seems like it's been all them, but now even grounds here. If Winthrop can get off to that hot start, then suddenly they'll be on the back burner, no doubt about it.
You saw the same thing I did, but I'm going to elaborate again for the rest of our viewers. In difference from the very beginning of the first game, whenever this Winthrop Academy Garnet squad faced off against Kennesaw State's premier B team last week, it was kind of a lopsided loss in their game 1. It was a one goal loss in game number 2. Then it was 4 goals and 3 goals in favor of Winthrop in the next 2 games. Then a 1-goal loss in game 5, a 4-1 just like what we got in game 6. If we hold the pattern there, if math in the universe comes out, this is supposed to be 5 for the Eagles. BPC needs to define magic in their own arcane rhythm and get through Winthrop.
Gotta find the secret. Dig deep. Do or die. Game 7. Would-be Champions Field. See who can gain that traction early in such a heated game here. Winthrop Garnet's had a rough week. They want to be able to turn it around. The way that you do that is by being able to feed the Monster King Burger combination. Let Phantom work defensively. That's a quick play, but off the short side post. Will not bend in this time like we saw from Phantom there in the last game. So Garnet back to the drawing board, and it's Monster King again. Looking for it. Wish gets a touch. Is it enough, though? Burger right back to it. Leaves it for Phantom. A weak shot, far side post. Not going to go in. Monster King, though, will follow up, and Winthrop Garnet's got the 1-0 lead.
It's got to be so frustrating to be a Baron defender right now. They disguise everything. You never know if Burger's going to be the one to take the shot, who they're laying it up for. Phantom was the next man up, and just when they put an off-pace shot, bouncing around, ping-ponging from off of those perimeter posts, then that one just gets blitzed in by Monster away from that last defender, and you cannot jump fast enough to be able to chase it out. So already burning in a minute and a half, Bear. 1 goal forward here for Winthrop Garnet. Now BPC is going to try their chances. A big demo by Burger to get rid of Manny. He was their primary striker in this first couple of games. Ever since then, it's been a lot more worse for wear to get them activated.
Have to figure out a way to get them activated for sure. Demo, though, is going to let Kyler at least get out to midfield because they're low on boost. I wish cycling around, but they bump into one another. Winthrop Garnet a little bit disorganized here defensively. Kyler off the corner. Now can they get that? They need a big touch, and Monster King gets back just in time. And it felt like Bruton Parker College could have did more in that moment when Winthrop Garnet looked like they were just tripping over themselves.
They really were, and we've also, because of that, seen only 1-shot chances. BPC gets maybe 1, and then Winthrop Garnet turns them away. Monster King off their nose, no boost, onto the hood, and then just waits for Wish to come to him. Wins the 50-50 off the left side fender, and that makes it 2 for Winthrop.
The Eagles thrive in chaos. We've said it so many times, even when they were looking chaotic themselves. It's a good sign, apparently. But Wish wants to try to answer back. We saw that in game 1, where they did answer back on every single goal. To get a 0-second goal, there's that answer. Manny's got one on the board for BPC.
A dime of difference this time around. As the JV squad from out of BPC won't let this one be a clean sweep, having to bump into traffic as Monster King, and he's not able to navigate fast enough as he chases after the rotation. So much of it was just left at the back door for Winthrop. So BPC just throwing everything they can at it. Off of the front face, Monster King wants to get back down to business and brass tacks. Kyler's in a one-on-one. He's going to bring this to sidewall, and Burger's hoping for a touch. That's a fantastic pass! We're tied up 2-2 at 2:22.
Oh, the 2's a line. Means we got a great series. That touch just past Burger. That's a couple of times where he was just a little bit misplaced. And just that little bit of difference in this series is enough to break the Camels' back. But will it be that big mistake Winthrop's looking to avoid? Phantom right back up top. Got a couple on the back wall. This one will fall down dangerously. Kyler is able to manage this one. Right back out. Berger wants to be able to pursue this one, but a quick touch here from Manny back the other way. Has some bumping support there. Flip reset puts it on target, but Phantom, no surprise, there to shut it down.
Dangerous navigation of that back line, though. They've definitely been ambitious and very volatile in the way that they want to kind of draft around that goal line. Phantom came from the outside in. Anything of mishandle, and that would have been bad news Bears. The good news for them is that they have good handles on them. Berger with a strike. Oh, and the fadeaway. Kyler was coming from outside the post, looking to make that contact, and Berger just never let this play go.
That's such a tough read there, too. Manny knew there were sideways. You got to just be able to rotate around and try on the next jump. And then you'll have two individuals trying to guess at that point. So either way, tough to try to read. Winthrop Garnet on top, 3-2. Kyler wants the answer. Quick there. Saved originally. Berger finally got some help here. And a pre-flip from Monster will push it forward. But right in the hands of Wish. But he left it wide open. Phantom, man on the spot. 4-2 Winthrop.
Wonderful side fender flourish by Monster King to force Wish to have to climb up, and unfortunately for him, Phantom was just waiting for there to be weakness in that grab. 2 one way, 2 the next, and guess what? 2 more go to the Eagles. They kill the man in Manny, who I thought might have a chance at it. This is going to be a threat from off of the front face of that 90, and now it's just demo heaven. Winthrop might be trying to put BPC to rest.
Wish has one last wish. And it's that try to find a goal. Here is a break in. Again, the box, but no support. Kyler was late there too. And Monster King was just able to dribble through him essentially. And that's more time killed off this clock.
Less than a minute to go. Winthrop Garnet, can they do it again? Same exact pattern. Nearly the same goal differences in majority of these games. The way they did it last week. BPC JV feels like they're running out of gas. They're definitely running out of time. It's going to be Manny that climbs the ladder. Phantom with yet another demo, and those constant resets on the rotations have got to be frustrating. Monster King is not going to let this enter his territory for free. Doesn't make second connection. Wish and Manny, they've got to be able to run this one upfield, and they're just running out of chances at this point.
First time in a while that they have boost, but this one's going to be strong-armed by Monster King, and they're going to live in this BPC zone. Finally, they got an opportunity wide open. Kyler will punch it in. Manny wanted to just make sure there with the steal. Call it whatever you want. Listen, Bruton Parker College, good on the kickoffs. 10 seconds is a lot of time here.
That demo, right onto that back Winthrop player that was rotating into the midfield line, huge. No one there to try and even get a chance at it. 10 seconds to go. BPC needs overtime. They're going to be pushed to the brink and to the back wall. Berger hanging on the ceiling, and he reads it the whole way. There's not a lot of boost, and there's absolutely zero time. Monster King just has to hit the grass. They're aiming to do so now from off the sidewall. Phantom stays aloft. They're burning through every resource they have just to be able to touch this ball. Phantom's going to be on top of it. It goes skyward. You have a man underneath. Goes to Kyler with a flick, but denied. Winthrop Garnet, they take it in 7.
Woo, boy. What a series. Winthrop fight from behind there. And the same pattern holds true. In chaos, Winthrop hold on. And guess what? They won a 1-goal game. Crazy how that works out for them. What a fitting way to end this series, and a good way to bounce back from yesterday's loss and really get back into place here. When we talk about NECC terms, that'll push them to that 2-0 mark as well. So they've had to get it done twice in Game 7, so it's not a comfortable, 2-0 here at this point in time, but it feels pretty dang good right now.
It feels fantastic. If you're BPC, obviously, welcome to NECC. Your first week was a 4-0 sweep, and into this one, it was a little bit tougher. Still, though, for everything that we got to be able to view, this is a solid squad. It was very, very spry in those first couple of games, and they were able to trade blows. But Winthrop, creating the storm where the Eagles flocking together and moving as one, and even in the chaos of it all, Monster King looked stellar. Berger and Phantom had their same moments as well. Can't wait to see maybe these teams do it again here, Bear. But for the time being, Division 6 and Division 2, they've had their shares. We're going to be taking a short break. If you are here for our next one, it's coming on up. It's going to be Missouri Southern State University going up against University of North Carolina, Asheville JV. You won't want to miss it. Be right back with NECC.
free my mind. Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place for me.
Welcome back, everyone, to NECC. We've got our finale for this wonderful Wednesday of Rocket League as we get into even more collegiate atmosphere and action. And for one last time, I'm Hail Monkey Man alongside Bearlight. And Bear, we switch up from a 4-0, which had some drama in it, but otherwise was a good sweep, to a Game 7 where a lot of patterns repeated. Now to a Division 7 matchup where both teams are looking to get off of a bad foot and onto a better one.
Looking to get to a better start for sure. It's 0-1 both ways, as it'll be Missouri Southern State Gold facing off with UNC Asheville JV team. Again, both teams lost in Game 5, actually. So, again, just kind of getting their traction as the season is a little bit earlier. As you see ahead of us, the UNC Asheville team made up of Cam Bruni. And we've got Smalley and Mac Monster will actually be the three on their side. And MSSU Gold, we've got Clued and Dandy Sky and D Blaster to make up that side too. Obviously, 6 players trying to prove themselves here in the NECC early.
It's really cool because we got some extra information as well for Missouri Southern State, and for them, they have a very international style team. As Clued is from Saudi Arabia, and they've been playing Rocket League since 2015, so a lot of experience that comes there. I think that's the oldest of your count could be. I think from literally the beginning of Rocket League. And then for Dandy or Sky, apparently they're a huge F1 fan, and they're playing for. They actually are coming to school from out of Mexico. So love what we get to the total composition of these squads, and that's what the collegiate atmosphere is all about. You get your academics. You may be coming from literally anywhere to book learn, and then you can get some Rocket League along the way. So for these two teams, Asheville, UNC Asheville, or AVL as we'll go with them, lot to improve upon. They definitely have, I think, kind of a measuring that they want to upgrade from, because from their Division 8 showcase in the fall, you don't want to be 1-6 again. You want to be able to find your way through. And now across from them, this may be a good overall kind of checkpoint, especially with Missouri Southern State kind of in that lull, going 1-4 in that first week matchup. So maybe this will be a good kind of jump point for both these teams to find some success.
Whatever you can do to get that mental to start to go on the green side of things and say, hey, we can start to really find a little bit of something there. You know, when you go up a division after being 1-6, it's typically because you have some talent that's being added to the roster, and or there's not usually a situation where if nothing's changed that you only lose in 5 in their first, series instead of being swept there. Against Waldorf, too, a university that's very strong. When we talk about this division and holding on to what they were able to do, I believe they're number 2, if I'm not mistaken, last season. They were definitely up in that top 5 as far as the division is concerned. So they certainly have a little bit of grit to them and certainly want to come out here. From my home state of North Carolina, I've seen UNC Asheville play their main roster, and certainly they had a pretty good season last time around, so maybe they can rub some of that off from their JV team as well.
I think my first girlfriend from Mexico, I got to go into mountain.
Nice.
That's why I became scared to death of mountains, and yet I live next to them now. So see how anything kind of changes up. One player that we did not mention into the pre-roster buildup is Blockstain. So Blockstain as well. Actually, I think they're playing off of Blockstain. So whichever way, they will be here as well with everyone else on the side of Clued and I guess Alight Plains. So hopefully that name maybe lights up our scoreboard a little bit more often as we go in the first 30 seconds.
Did you go to Sunshine Sammy's, or was it Freeze of Asheville? Or maybe another one, because they're both incredible.
Sunshine Sammy sounds so familiar. That one's really, I think it was that one.
Good off of Lexington Ave if you're in the Asheville area and you're tuning in and you go to the school and you haven't gone there. Well, let me tell you, top tier ice cream.
It was delicious.
See if they can't put a little whipped cream on top, a little bit of something special for the rest of their series or season. They're looking to gain some of that traction here. MSSU, though, had the opportunity. Mac Monster there at midfield will actually catch Blockstain in a situation where he had to turn around and figure out what was happening, but he did a good job of that to kind of settle it in, push in, as MSSU goal right to the box, but Smalley able to shut it down.
A general kind of vying for control between both these teams. You look into a Division 7 matchup and you think, okay, some of this might slow down. Has from a Division 2 standpoint, but overall, it has not been a lot of mishandles at all. Oh, Clued be able to pinball it through to the opposite side post, and a last gasp effort comes up just a fender short.
Oh my. Yeah, and before that even, Kimbroni was right there. Mac Monster had an opportunity to dive at it as well, so 3 individuals in that moment trying to make the save there from Asheville, but MSSU will get on the board first. And now Clued right back on it, threatening yet again. That one will bounce and find its way to the back of the net. MSSU now with a 2-0 lead, so you score 1 and they suddenly come in bunches, it seems.
Clued has now been 100% involved in both of them, having the initial shot, and then the second one that was able to really kind of punctuate to that backboard defender. They got right in their face, and they were able to 50-50 that one into a chance where a light planes was able to find a chance at it. So 2-0 through the first 2 minutes. Asheville has really found themselves kind of stuck. A ambitious and apparently fortuitous way to play defense as you slam it against your own back wall.
Each their own. You'll have to see a little bit of unique style play in the game of Rocket League. Smalley saw that one go a little bit high. Blockstain was on it from the get-go. Smalley just a little bit late there as well. I felt like Blockstain could have put that one on target, but he was being harassed and demoed eventually. Brony will be able to pitch it all the way out. Another touch to the corner. Blockstain went across his net. Bit ill-advised, but no pressure there from Asheville justified that occasion. And Elite Plains able to get to it as well. As this one drops down, though, and Mac Monster, man on the spot. It'll be a 2-1 lead instead.
That was very immediate. I mean, you see some of these get set up and like, all right, it's going to take a second. No, Mac was pre-jumped, ready to receive. Fantastic work from out of Mac Monster to get AVL up onto the board. So I was hoping that this one be too lopsided from out of our first game. You want to get into the speed of the game. You don't want to let the pace kind of be a mystery to you. And AVL JV's squad definitely starting to kind of remark up into that. Mac Monster, it's a bit of a mishandle. It will go just across that back line. Trying to capitalize is Missouri Southern State to the sidewall, and again they go into no man's land. No one's really making solid contact here. It requires the back linesman to really come back up. Mac Monster taking control.
We know Clued will change that kind of concept. He's been really good at getting those touches when they need to, and followed it up there even without boost to push it out here for MSSU. The gold team looking to get right back to it after AVL JV had gotten that goal to pull them back within 1. This off the back wall will rather fall down. They dove in, but a little bit too late. A little bit off the mark. Elite Plains on it. This one finds its way to the back wall, and Mac Monster wants to get a slight touch there. Was looking for Smalley, but it was read nicely by Clued. Back in here for MSSU. Big high hit will force Elite Plains to try to redirect his trajectory in the air. And instead of a shot, it'll be kind of a loose play, and we remain this back and forth. A stalemate that you like to see with MSSU Gold, especially when you're up 2-1 here in this moment.
They're holding that lead. They haven't built some insurance, and AVL has got to be breathing just a little bit heavier. But still, even when they have to make those last gasp efforts of defense, they still are only suffering by a 1-goal differential. Swing and a miss. Blockstain denies both of those players from out of AVL. Clued is going to just clue them in that they're going to get that one back out to 2. And these latter 30 seconds are looking healthier from Missouri Southern State.
Yeah, you saw and trust your teammate to be out there and try to threaten a bump play, and that's all it takes, especially if you're confident in being able to get that touch. And when touches have been a little bit iffy in this series, in all honesty, it's good to see, you know, that you have a consistent player, especially with MSSU, and Clued able to get that touch and direct it on target the way he did. With that confidence comes a 3-1 lead for MSSU.
Yell might be coming up a bit short here at the end portion of game number 1. Early on, looked very promising with the way they were at least jousting and challenging for basically rocking position and possession away from MSSU. Feels like this one has all gone away. Clued will find another one. I believe that's good for a Hattie, as the Lions are roaring to start off this series.
Yeah, certainly are. Find the right places to be, and number 2, whenever you get to that place, being able to make the touch necessary in order to get those challenges have been the ticket for success here in this game number 1. And for AVL JV, no harm done. You lost game 1. You can bounce back potentially. But MSSU Gold has positioned themselves in the series to take the lead and move into game number 2 off the hat trick of Clue.
See the 10 shots to 3. A lot of defense has to get played by AVL early on, and that's something that obviously needs to be fixed. Game number 1, got to get through your paces. Got to be able to get springboarded from out of your own back half. And I have a key question for the fans in the chat as well as for Bear, your opinion.
All right.
Missouri Southern State University. It's Missouri. What is the nickname for the Missouri school, University of Missouri University? You call them Mizzou, right? Well, with 2 S's, do we call them Missou? Can you call them Missou?
Miss you? Like the Blink
Miss
song?
You? Is that? Wait, is that? Oh, it is a Blink one.
I don't think it's.
Miss
I don't
you.
think it's. Oh, please do it again. No,
Moso. They're saying Moso. Okay. Moso. Thank you to everyone in the chat, by the way. If you're okay with Moso, I would like to do so. If you guys are cool with that. Yeah.
Is it Moso State though? Like Mosist? I don't know, man.
Oh, the Mosists? The Moso with the Moses.
We're going with Moso, baby. Yeah.
Moso.
No,
all right, cool.
We're getting that in chat, baby. All right. The folks in Joplin have a preference. It has been spoken. It is now Moso from here on out, monkey.
Moso, baby. All right, so Moso good to go in game number 1. So good overall pressure we got out of Clued and company. Clued honestly was just locked in. Felt like they were involved in pretty much everything. I think they had 3 for 4 bagger that was happening through the majority of that offense. And Asheville, I mean, very slow start. And they were able to find a good kind of centralized position. That first minute looked very promising. From thereafter, they were chasing what the Lions were dropping.
Yeah, they eventually caught up and figured out exactly how they can approach. Now, whether or not they can implement it or not is a question yet to be seen. Double demo, a lot of physicality coming out. Here is maybe some bad blood from that game number 1 stewing. Clued's gonna find Blockstein here. Great passing play, great setup, and a great carry up and over. Love that from Blockstein. Perfectly set up by Clued.
Wow, great lift. That's the one that you have to find in stride. And when you do, it is nigh indefensible if especially the defender is having to walk away and point their nose towards their own net in that rotation. And that's not able to find any stop to that pace. So good looks by good old Moso as University of North Carolina, Asheville. So far, everything has been led on a string. They got to rotate away. Mac Monster takes it away from Blockstein. See if they can do the same thing here, but Clued is starting to prime this one up.
Clued, A-Light together. Great passing play. Another shot taken, but Camproni was able to rotate around in time and make that save. Still up in the air. Opportunity. Is that an own goal? Wait.
That was a heck
No,
of an
Blockstein.
own goal.
Yeah, it was. I was confused for a minute because it looked so clean.
Looked awesome. Unfortunately for Smalley, they took the most fantastic. This was actually something that I looked at earlier. Whenever they slammed the ball off their sidewall in game number 1, I was like, okay, don't do that too many times. They're hoping to do that kind of a little bit higher from their backboard and let it kind of go high arc to midfield. But
Yeah.
hey, good shot.
Gotta say this here first and foremost, because I got Flamingo in the chat from the C3 side of things in Carolinas. What other, I said the real ones know Carolina's always going to score on themselves with own goals. I don't know what it is, man, but it happened again. Remember I said that earlier in the series, and here we are again, just holding true.
North Carolina is all about just doing what they do. You know what? At least your state's consistent, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're known for own goal. I know I do it all the time, so.
Oh, big save out of Blockstein. Good old Moso. Rotates just enough. Get in the way of Asheville. 2 minutes have gone away, and 2 goals have been accumulated in much shorter time frames here for the Lions. Bulldogs trying to take a bite out of this competition into game number 2, but being left on the leash and stuck in the kennel. Clued as a teammate available in a light planes, and they're trying to set this one on fire.
Brony was, I think, eyeballing a teammate. Mac Monster will eventually get to it first, and a good fake move there, too. Just swing around the last defender and say, thank you very much. And now that lead cut in half here because of the great fake there. Nicely done.
If it's Moso and it's a 2-1, does that mean you get the Moso BOGO because it's a 2-for-1? No? Okay, all right. I'll see my way out. Dad gang rise up. 2.5 minutes. Oh? 2 for 2?
2-2 with 2:28 this time, not 2:22 on the clock. We saw some sync going on a little bit earlier. Smalley able to make up for the damage done with the own goal, which also tends to happen in the Carolinas. Now we see ourselves even with 2:28 left, and here off the kickoff, Smalley will push it forward too. Really trying to get retribution, trying to step into this game and kind of make up, and not only that, but some more value here for AVL JV.
AVL had kind of lulled us into a false sense of security in favor of the Lions, and ever since then, it looks like the challenge game is there. Smalley, they have one solid shot against their own squad, but they've now been able to turn around a couple. 2 minutes to go. Latter 2 minutes going to be really indicative of the rest of the pace of this game. This one goes flying across. It's been a huge favoring for this right side corner if you are the Lions. Moso's been attacking it. They've been driving around that zone. You're going to have a swing and a miss by Clued. He's upfield. No boost. Double commit. You know, the third man kind of in an awkward situation. They will at least get Cambruni bumping a man on the face. So easy fist fights from off that wall. Mac Monster will find some territory out.
Oh, freebie.
Okay.
Mac Monster is going to be credited with this one. This time it's Moso's time to put one in themselves. Just put it in a good place and let the ball bounce happen. Let the good luck happen.
It's, sometimes in either, what is it, snow day, or even just watching hockey, call that puck luck. Just let it drop to that back, that back defense, see where the net runs around. Someone kicks it with a skate. That time around, it was the rotation that they were able to just force to make an error. Oh, not again. Oh, boy.
What is happening, dude?
3 own goals, baby. That's what.
You know, you get that touch and you're like, how do I get away? And oh, my goodness.
It was Smalley again, too.
I know. Want to forget.
Comfort.
Smalley has 4 goals in this series. 2 for his team, 2 for the other. But yeah, you're right. Still getting some of that puck luck just in time for Olympic hockey as well, by the way.
Oh, shout out. Oh, holy, hold on. Hold on. Hold me tight. Hold me close. Big challenge from out of Clued. Clued might have been able to finish it, but just squeezing that crossbar.
Yep. Snuck it in there. So now, after all the chaos is said and done, or is it yet? Moso up 4-3. The minute 7 left in this one, after all of these things have developed, only one team can walk away. It's going to be the team that does not score on themselves the most. This one will go past Blockstain. Opportunity now develops. AVL's got it flick. Oh, nice save. Well, Blockstain didn't want to touch that one back. Actually left it there for AVL instead because they didn't put that back pass where it needed to go. But it's clued right back on it. An opportunity. This one up into the box and a floater, but it's going to be caught by the defense of Moso.
I thought we had forgotten about this half of the pitch, to be honest. We were working on that one wall. All trying to squeeze a pass. Not going to give another opportunity. Blockstain sets up many a block to create the wall. And Moso trying to hang on. It's been a havoc-driven game. A bump into their own teammate. They steal both these boosts. A nice demo. 10 seconds to go. Mac Monster upfield. Gonna be able to get one. Off angle. That's a chance. Oh! Smalley! They've got 5 goals. Luckily for his team, the majority are now in the other net.
I love that, man. Listen, brush it off the shoulders. The other ones didn't happen. Here, ABL able to give us a game that lasts longer. Let the chaos continue. With 4 seconds left off the kickoff. Never know what's going to happen between these two teams. It's left down. That one's going to be popped high. A chance for Cambroni. He's got the shot taken, but shut down by Blockstain. Still in a dangerous spot, but they let it hit the ground. And in overtime in game number 2.
Smart play to let that one eventually rest because they did not have a plan for the next touch, or at least what would happen thereafter. You got to watch out, though. Blockstain's going to put a threat. What a save! Are you kidding me? From outside in, able to drag that away. Smalley trying to make up for everything from earlier in this game.
Smoley made himself big in that moment. Somehow filled up the space necessary and got that one off that little area. Smoley, the hero and the foe here for Asheville in this game, has had some high peaks, some valleys, but they're looking to brush it off here in this overtime period.
Smoley, both the hero and the villain. Oh, block stain. They're the one among us. They slam it off the face, I believe, of Cambroni as they rotate up into that corner, and Blockstein just drubs it in a dunk straight off his hood. What a chaotic game two. Moso coming up 2-0.
All right, everybody in chat, everybody here in the booth as well. That's you, Monkey Man. Everybody in production as well. Deep breath.
Yeah.
What in the world was that game?
I don't know.
But Moso, listen, they held strong. They got a couple of goals from Smalley, so at the end of the day, they got a little bit of help in this one too. And maybe if you're Asheville, you're like, listen, we gave them some. If we just don't give them some, then we would be in control of the series. And so it can't be that discouraging. You know, it's like, just forget about it. Just put it out of the back of your mind. Not only does that help us mentally, but it's also a situation where you can use that energy and say, hey, all things considered, we played well in some big moments. Let's just try to stay on the peaks and not so much in the valleys of the Appalachian.
There's a lot of peaks in the Appalachian.
There's a lot of them, I'll tell you that, yeah.
All right. So now if you're Asheville, you got to be like, all right, we were definitely one of our own worst enemies. It was kind of a 4-2 at time, 4v2 at times out there. Yeah. And if you are Moso, you're like, you know what? That sure was a game. That was something. So as you call them from the chaos, I hope that the pace at which that we're playing doesn't slow down, because you're like, I want to be more careful. I still want to be able to get it to teammates. No. All right. Careful is one thing, but I want them to be able to play the dang game, go upfield, make those connections. Just angle your car a little bit, wide of your net as necessary, and don't rotate from outside to in. But maybe just take these shots. Smoley doing Smoley things.
Smoley is just all over the place, man. Hit or miss, up or down. Hopefully on the upside here from here on out. Love that, though. Like, be involved in every single play, no matter what the outcome is. That's what Smoley is, and it's great. It's fun. It's fun for us, for everybody in chat, even. Like, even the Moso crowd is like, yeah, we love Smoley too, in some moment. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. I love this. Good times.
Smoley is Kevin Durant. He'll play with anyone as long as he's getting a dub. That's all that matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mac Monster underneath that ball is Moso trying to establish some level of clarity of control. Oh, what a cut down. Big save from out of Mac Monster. That's a back pass. Creates a softball situation. That one squirts across from post to post. And in Asheville, somehow structured themselves a defense. Blockstein was trying to destructure the foundation of what there was. That's a no touch by Light Plains, and we're through the first minute.
Oh, that's a good passing play, and guess who again? Smoley breaks into the box with a great feed from Mac Monster and a 2-0 lead now for Asheville with JV.
They pass off by Mac Monster. Smoley had also, instead of being the opposite side post handler, kind of, being the backdoor merchant, he ended up just staying right next to Mac Monster. He's like, if you're not going to take that touch, I will. And so he spurred everyone's eyes to go towards him, and then boom, Smoley for 2. Smoley has scored, if you think about own goals and if you think about main goals, I think he has like 6 goals across these 2 games.
6 or 7. Yeah, it's literally up there. Light Plains had a moment, but maybe it took a little bit too long as it was bounced away from it. Or not. That one's going to be an open one. Patience, a virtue. Good things come to those who wait, and Moso will be able to pull it back with the 1.
Light Plains just over the top. Poor Cambroni just went right past it, and that was a good, slow developing moment of, all right, let me see if I can do this from out of a Light Plains, who really has kind of been this strange X factor. You get a lot of Clued, you get a lot of blocks in. I feel like those 2 are kind of your proper head and shoulders of just regular standard output from out of Moso. But then you get a Light Plains that you're just never prepared for, even off of that shot. It goes a bit high. Asheville got to be counting their lucky stars right now through the first 100 seconds. It could be tied at that mark. Blockstein wants to set it up again. It's going to go well on the arc. But Oso's really not left their territory for a long time.
Yeah, it has been pretty much stagnant right here, as they want to lead that one as well. And the last man back, actually got up to it. NECC Monster has been having great reads. I mean, the fact that they're able to anticipate in so many occasions has been very impressive to me. It's certainly a highlight of this AVL JV team through their first couple of losses that were a little bit tough. Love to see him try to build on what he's been able to establish here in this game 3 and carry it forward here in the rest of the series.
Been very consistent. Where there's been a crazed fire from out of Smoley, you've definitely gotten NECC Monster, who's been kind of that stagnation in a solid way. Good. You need something to be able to kind of anchor yourself. We're over the halfway charm and chime of the clock. You're in game number 3 in AVL, good old Asheville. Trying to deny a sweep. Oh, it falls into the, I think that was Monster's right side fender. Blockstein was the one that put it there.
Yeah, that pre-flip was actually disgusting and put it right there off the post. And unfortunately for Asheville, it's technically another own goal, but that one you can't really do much about. So it's just, it kind of adds to the story. You don't want it to. But we're back even here. 2:12 left on the clock as AVL JV out to midfield. Blockstein waits for it. NECC Monster was patient, but it rolled off the front of his car. Blockstein allowed the chance to follow up on it. Shielded by Smalley, and the bump will not matter because Smalley's right back onto it, but it will give away possession here, but it's right back into the hands of AVL JV. They got that opportunity. But Glued be kept to it by NECC Monster. It seems like nobody can get the traction here at this point in time. It's just whoever can really control it will have the edge.
I feel like this ball's covered in oil. This thing has been slippery and moving in odd directions from off of these possessions. Love the win here by NECC Monster. He cannot see the other player. He's going to go for a power flick, maybe get his teammate involved. You have 2 men trying to be able to dunk it. Both will whiff as it goes wide. NECC Monster will press back up again, and that means that everyone from the side of AVL is upfield. Got to be very careful. That's going to be a demo, a light planes. Getting rid of NECC Monster. Maybe another quick connection. They will be able to doink it one more time. Clued on the follow. He's gone quiet for these last couple of minutes. Seeing what he can do on possession. The giveaway can't quite narrow that from that near side wall. Overtime could be imminent. NECC Monster wants to jump underneath this one as it drops, and he wants to set up another teammate.
This one right back into the hands of Moso. The subbed-in player of Cause Chaos now on the pitch is going to get to that next ball. As the chat, rightfully so, is asking, where is Cam Bruni? And they were replaced, but still keeping Asheville in this game. Blockstein, right as I say it, they jinx it. Moso able to make it 3-2 with 31 seconds left with the floater and the follow-up.
Cause Chaos in this game the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I knew that. I was testing you. All right. 3-2. Asheville's seeing this entire thing slip away, looking for the double. Blockstein sees that one squirrel on by. Smalley with a shot off the arc. Who's there to follow? They take it away. A light planes sets all the grass on fire. One more from the backboard. It will be Clued, sends it right from where Cause Chaos came from. Smalley, he has some boost, but he has to rely on a teammate to make a connection first. He and NECC Monster connecting the worst way. They're going to let that one die, and that's going to be a 3-0 position for match point.
Ouch. Yeah, that one hurts a little bit for Asheville. Had him right where they wanted him. And Smalley had the last couple of chances as well. Had the couple of goals here for Asheville JV, and, didn't put it in his own net this time around. Was really able to kind of put that aside of everything else. But when it came down to it, had a couple of opportunities, and it was fought away by Moso, who was able to get that late-term goal and was the difference maker there in this one. So Moso just went away from being able to complete the sweep. But there's enough in the tank, in my opinion, from what I've seen from UNC Asheville JV to say that they'll at least make it close in this game, if not push to it game number 5. I know, obviously, their support in chat is here, and I'm sure you want to see it as well. We want to see a close series, but Moso has that opportunity to close out as well.
It's one of those moments where as well this feels like a backbreaker, especially then they had that lead and then it kind of crept out of sorts and it feels like Asheville. This one may end up if they cannot get themselves in this timeout between 3 and 4, not a real timeout, just setting up the game, that it may fall apart. Also, sorry that I didn't see Cause Chaos. I saw the letter C and I autopilot. I'm like, oh, that's Cambroni. I'm like, that is not Cambroni, especially when people are like, where's my boy Cambroni? I don't know where he went. Maybe he comes back. We'll be able to see that happen. So cause chaos, cause a little chaos. Smalley was trying to do the same thing. This team has what it takes, but there's been just an ounce more of sincere consistency that's moved from out of Moso. Moso has been looking very fundamentally strong, even when Clued kind of shied into the back line and allowing Blockstein and company to really look a lot stronger from that front. That's what you do. You set up just, all right, we're not going to hard press when we don't need to. Yeah, we fall behind by a couple of goals. We can still be in this game. As long as there's time on the clock, we can still work.
Yeah, and I agree with you completely. And at the other side, you talk about Moso, and the fact that they were able to come from behind in that win is certainly a big one, right? The UNC Asheville could have easily just like taken that win. Now one step at a time, things start to fall into place, and then you start to gain a little bit of momentum. But instead, Moso shut them down completely and was able to silence them. I know I'm talking out of the other side of my mouth because I was like, UNC Asheville JVs, they've done enough to keep it close, and that might be true. But Moso, the way that they're able to come back in this one, makes it almost feel like even, for UNC Asheville JV, it's like, if we're going to win this one, we're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to change things up. And when you're not playing your style, it makes you a little bit vulnerable. So I'd like to see them come out with that same little bit of edge that they played with. Smalley's got to be big here in this one as far as like goals go, and just throw everything at the wall. Go crazy, Smalley. We want to see it because it's been the most entertaining bit of Rocket League I think we've seen in a minute.
I'm literally watching you guys. I'm watching you watching us watch this thing. Hashtag bring back Brony. Bring back Brony, please. Oh, hey, that's so polite of you. Shout out. A lot of Moso representation. That's exactly what. Yeah, we love being able to have all of you from all of these programs giving love not only to your fellow students, your players, and maybe even some of your like family out there. So super cool having you guys here with us from week to week. And I think I have a lobby resets going on. If you're wondering why you're just looking at two talking heads, that's why. So we're resetting that same one with info. I know. I wish I could control the game. I'm not. That's our awesome producers, by the way. That's in the form of Chippy. So give them some love out there, as all our NECC staff is making sure to give you, our faces in your spaces from week to week. We do have, at minimum, Bear, one more game. And I believe in the Smoley magic. Asheville definitely feels like from the previous semester changing over to this one, the challenge upwards of division is tough to meet, but it's not like they've gone like backwards. It's just that now they're like, all right, I couldn't quite beat the campaign easily on heroic, but I'm ready for legendary. It's just taking them some time.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to take a step back, and take it all in and put in Cam Bruni, according to the chat right now. Bring back Bruni, please, is now there, Lord Lasagna. So maybe that's what they're discussing. Maybe it's not that after all. And you know what? There are worse things out there in the world than being able to just kind of zone into your beard at the end of the day. So, I think we're all having a good time here, to be honest. Man, I wish mine could be. I'm close. I'm getting there. But at the end of the day, nothing can beat that beard, bro.
You know what? If you need. Boom. There you go.
Yes, give it to me. Yeah, that's it.
Right in there. It's as red as you think. It's got color. Yeah. So no one needs to see this for an elongated amount of time. In fact, if you're exposed to that much beer for that amount of time, you actually might need to go see a doctor if it lasts 4 hours or otherwise.
I was honestly hoping it would just get stuck there on the screen, but
it's just the zoom.
Maybe next time. Just the whole rest of the stream, and then we went to 7, and then just stuck there. That'd be great, man.
It's this big head guy just stuck. Please save me. I'm stuck in this lobby. We are in fact moving them through, so our producer is handling a lot of that. You guys are still really good with it. I think tomorrow, what is our games that end up happening? Because in case you're new to NECC, first off, hello, welcome, love having you. Welcome, yeah. Every single day we have so many esports that go down. I think we do Rainbow Six Siege on the same day. Am I super wrong?
Counter-Strike. Well, you're super
Counter-Strike. I am super wrong. It's a shooter. It's just not the same counter shooter. But
okay,
I think
close,
it's Yeah, I think we have League of Legends tomorrow, and then Overwatch on Friday. I might
Could
be
be.
wrong. Yeah,
One of
it's
those two. We're
it's
gonna
a
figure
thing.
it out while we do it. I think it was Overwatch the next day whenever we're seeing it. Please bail us
Yeah.
out, production. They're busy doing their thing. Actually, don't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
they'll do whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Also, if you guys have the same schools that you root for, well, you guys were just talking about it. Asheville's rivals team. If you want to be on stream right now, that the way that we're doing it. Last semester, we were doing a lot of our inputs. We would go to each one of the standings pages and we look it over in League of West and we look at all the programs and all their stuff. And like, you know what would be an interesting match? If you want to see your students play, well, get your coach, your program director, whomever's managing all that, maybe just your squad in general. And you can put in the NECC ticket and you can request to have people like us that are way cooler and better than us. I think that we're the best, but that can be able to talk about your team, your sons, your daughters, everyone that's able to play. So, because I want to be able to talk about literally everybody. So,
you know, as a casting pair, I just gotta say, I think we're kind of like a Smalley. Like, there's the best of times and the worst of times.
we own goal. Sometimes I dunk on
sometimes.
myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Wait, see, great minds think alike. We're both
Boom.
chaotic as well.
Yeah, we're
I love this.
dying.
Oh, by the way, the correction: CS2 and Siege on the Wednesdays, says Ramen in chat. So, you weren't super wrong. So I apologize for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
we can all be wrong sometimes. So I was half right, or half wrong. Okay, so
we were both half right and wrong. Again, we're Smalley. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we are all Smalley at heart. So
That's
good.
right.
Also, okay, so that since we have time, so League casters for tomorrow, League of Legends, in case that gets confusing because we are Rocket League. It's gonna be Yanni and Shibby that will be handling all those conducted matches, and then we have Overwatch casters on Friday that will be Tiny Shiny and Twin Salty. So two of the best in the biz with Overwatch, to be honest.
Agreed. Yeah, I've worked with Tiny Shiny personally, and she's been able to accomplish there. She's been at Shenandoah for a little bit as well, which is a great program.
Shout out.
And shout out Shenandoah and all the peoples there, man. We're talking Oh, Jesus, my time to light. Who else? Nuke is there. Xander obviously is a good friend of us as well. So, and there's so many of them I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry about that. Like, that's a great program for sure. So, but Tiny Shiny was what I was saying. Had was it Calling All Heroes? I think it was for Overwatch. Did a fantastic job with that one. I was at DreamHack Atlanta as well for the DreamHack Collegiate, and that was she did a fantastic job holding it down on the Overwatch side. Put up with my butt on the Overwatch side too. So that was great. It's great.
Easy work, easy living. By the way, did you know at this point we're podcasting because we're just waiting for these teams to be able to get in. So sorry for that. So we're just we're thriving as we're living and waiting. I got to see. I went to. If you guys are up in the upper Northeast in the DC area, there's an awesome annual convention that happens. It's called MagFest. It's a music and gaming festival. Super cool. Tons of video games. I actually casted a LAN over there, and they had a lot of bands. It's like every corner of the Gaylord Convention Center is just music everywhere, and both Nuke and Xander came out of nowhere when I was at that desk, and I was like, what? Like, I was blinking it out, and I was like, they know me, I have to know who this person is. Oh, it's Nuke. And it took a minute, and he just stared at me. He's like, hey, monkey. And I was like,
who are you?
Yeah, just brain shorted out.
Wow.
But they were really super cool. And so yeah, advocate for a lot of the upper Northeast, you know what, all nationwide esports programs. But I've definitely had a lot of experience with those guys. Super cool dudes. Also, you need to go to MagFest with me.
I will. I 100% will.
All of you need to as well.
You got to come down for C3 then, and the Carolinas to represent. UNC
I'll do
Asheville
C3.
chat will let you know what it's all about. It's good times out here in the Carolinas, man. We're building something special down here, all right? Love some of that area.
I love the Carolinas. I know that there's a rivalry, but I did really like when I went to Winthrop as well. That was really cool. That whole thing over there was awesome.
Yep.
So, all right, are we okay? Producer in my head, are we able to get it happening? Okay, looks like that we're slowly getting there. Relative wise, there's 7 matches that happen across the semester. So you basically need to be if you want to soft spot yourself guaranteed into the playoffs, you need to be 4-3. And to go to at the beginning of the semester, It's not great. We've seen teams that are able to recover. Asheville is definitely on kind of that recovery path, especially from the Division 8 to 7 kind of upgrade. But they could still, through this semester, be able to make it into a playoff position. Same thing with Moso, and work for a nationals piece, which is, I think, a really kind of cool mark for NECC and how you see progress through much of these programs, because they were just talking about not only the dates for where nationals are going to be, and as well as the trophies that get to go to these programs, which is a cool accomplishment whenever they do all these titles.
It's a cool experience. Number one, to kind of to be in house and have that experience. If you've never done it, you have to be able to do it. It's a fantastic time for sure. So that's 100% where it's at. So we've got some interesting information here in the chat here from producers. We'll have to verify whether or not it's correct. So just give us a second while we do that.
No way. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna figure that portion out. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Mr. Bepic, thank you so much for the raid, man. How's it going? Good to have you in here as well on the NECC channel, man. I appreciate you coming through. Bepic, love you, man. Shout out,
Mr.
Bepic.
Flamingo, I'm not going to repeat what you said, but you're wild, okay? It's ridiculous. All right. So our producer is confirming with us. As we check it out, I'm going to let them finish typing. Everyone, make sure to put your eyes to the chat. Join me. What they're looking at. So put eyes.
I got you. I'm
Like
on
here,
it.
hold on.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Put eyes in the chat like this. Okay, I put eyes.
Okay.
Everyone, begin looking. Okay. We're waiting. We're watching chat.
Still waiting. Still waiting.
Okay, hold on. Roll eye in chat. Woeful Wednesdays. Thank you, Ace. I appreciate appreciate that. Wait, okay.
Okay. I
Okay.
think we're getting good news here.
Okay, so we are getting them in the lobby. Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to explain everything after this. We apologize for this being a long wait. This was unscripted. Oh, none of this is scripted. But you know what is scripted? This break. NECC. Be right back. You will not believe it, but Dandy or Sky in chat literally just gave it away. First off, Hail Monkey Man, Bear Light, NECC. Secondly, we're in game 6. 2 games got played. Asheville won both of them. This is not a drill. There is one chance to possibly get it to a game 7, a bracket or reverse sweep. You guys have been on about seeing people's toes, namely ours, and these guys have been using theirs to kick this ball and apparently get some game wins.
Just ask your teams. Just ask your teams, Rocket. We're not making this up. We're not making this up. They were real. They just wanted to play without the pressure, and guess what? I guess it's working for Asheville because they won a couple in a row. That's what I'm saying. That's what I pulled for this. We're gonna go in the lobby. We're gonna get in there, and for future tenses, make sure if we drop out of game and lobby, please just like take a moment to breathe and pause so we can see it, because now I'm gonna think it's cap if we get in there and Asheville just loses now that they're on camera. But either way, let's start this game. Let's get in there. Let's make it happen. Going. And no, I'm not giving you toes. All right, you calm down. This is a G-rated street. Chat, chill. All the Raiders from RSU and Bepic are here. All right, we just want to play out game 6. All right.
We gotta be calm. We gotta be.
We made it.
6. Oh. Bulldogs have found a way out of the kennel. Moso, do they fold? We find out.
And we'll get to see it. We'll get to see it thanks to the players being able to finally get back to us.
I'm not responding to the chat anymore. No.
Cluden's going to move this one forward as we try to get back on track. Finally, it's Mech Monster able to get this touch. Past 1 almost 2. Blast back. Try to get to it. Clude going to be beat to it. Smully, who I assume had 8 goals for both teams over the past couple games.
Makes sense.
Try and work this in. Here it's Mac back up. Good read there by the defensive Moso here, who, although we didn't get to see him, still losing 2 games in a row. We know what it means. You got to get back dialed in. We'll see if they can do it here, as this minute has been pretty quiet here as far as offensive chances go.
Cam Brody's back, by the way. You said please. They said okay. Came back. Mac Monster, Smully, and Cam Brody somehow trying to work some magic out here against Moso. Light Planes and company. See if both them Blockstain and Clude start making connections. Swing and a miss for one. Blockstain fills the gap. Trying to keep this one all the way back. Clude will try and ride the river and get that one high. That's a nice strike. They make the goalie stand up. They just got to get the goal in. And Smully takes it the rest of the way.
Classic Smully. But again, the great setup. But Mac Monster with that little touch to tap it back down. Could have went straight to net, but realized you didn't have the angle for it, so to tap it down, it was almost too long before Smully was able to get to it. But no harm done for Asheville. They continue the same trends of winning a couple in a row and back on top here in game number 6.
Wonder how much of this was what brought Asheville back into the game, because Smully continues to get large. Easy find, easy pickup. This travels from off of Blockstain. And then an early jump, I think that was a Light Planes who, remember I talked about, they let him off the leash, they let him be the roamer and the lurker, but that time around there was a bit too much confidence that he would make that connection.
Off the kickoff, they try and continue on it. Clude wanted to push it forward. A little bit of desperation starting to seep in here for MSSU. As Moso look to get back to work, but that's sideways. They're going east and west, less so north and south. And that one's going to take 2 defenders from Moso as well. Freebie here from UNC Asheville JV. What is happening? We might see a little bit of a creep up towards this game number 7 potential.
Generational collapse happening in real time. 3-0 primed up in the Moso camp, and 2 games in a row off screen apparently has completely changed the entire definition of this series. At the 3-minute mark, Asheville finds a third, and then it was based off of that connection. I don't think they have enough boost. They'll be able to creep up into it. Nice little hook defense as Cam Bruni will collect. And if you are MSSU, good old Moso, you need to stabilize by separation. You need to find just a fundamental rotation that it doesn't seem like it's breakneck speed. It feels like they're just on top of each other, trying to play too acute and really honestly just too cute.
Too cute, too smally, some would say. But this one's back into the hands of Cam Bruni. You wanted to see him. Let's see what he can do. Able to win that strong arm 50-50. It's back to Mac Monster. Was able to get that touch in the follow-up there. The 50 will bounce wide of the net. And all right, Plains onto it. Met all the way up at the ceiling by Mac Monster, allowing Cam Bruni to jump in. This off the back wall, but a good read from Clued. Try to relieve the pressure from Moso. Finally to get to it. They're being boost-starved like crazy. Back wall they go, but fought off nicely. Now to the back wall again. And Smalley once again. Absolutely dynamic player. 4-0 for Asheville JV.
I wish I knew the total collection of goals from out of Smalley. Mac Monster's bullying people onto the opposite side post, not letting anyone get near. And Smalley sees that as a free shot to slam it on home. 1:46 on the clock, 4-0 Asheville. Script was written. Some of you apparently knew it, but I didn't realize it had been flipped in such a hard way.
And it has been completely untelegraphed as well. I mentioned potential for UNC Asheville. I wasn't calling for a reverse sweep, but we're going to have an opportunity in a Game 7 to potentially get there. As long as they can hold off MSSU for the minute 20, which should be easy pickings, seeing as we've had pretty straightforward Asheville domination here from the JV team. Completely opposite of what we saw from the first 3 games. Can MSSU at least get a goal? Give us something. Give us some promise here going to Game 7.
Oh, so it's interesting because it's not like their game plan has changed, but AVL, they've been able to finally read to it. The difficulty was the speed read that happened in the first 3 games was all Moso. As they began ramping up their execution, finding better connections, Asheville came alive as a contender. And now with the winds of change completely in the back of the sail of these Bulldogs, there's Moso with no answer to stop them. 30 seconds approaching. The Lions are at the mercy of the Bulldogs.
Red flags all around here for MSSG right now. It's emergency mode. The desperation you had from already being 0-1 in series played through that week 1 mark, and you want to be able to get on the board, and you were that close to being able to do it, and that's quite dwindling here at this point. Not able to poke that one in either. Allied Plains trying to toss it across for 1, and that one's off the post as well. When it rains, it pours, Monkey Man. We're seeing a prime example of it. But AVL JV have been doing enough here to keep themselves alive and force a Game 7 here in this series.
Not just alive, they are nearly completely switched out the boxes that Moso was trying to bury them in. Undertaker meme, they came back. Yeah. Asheville has 1 more game, and they have all the both emotional and mechanical momentum on their side. Moso needs some life support, and hopefully you guys got the health care to provide them in the chat. Both sides, I want to see you get live and loud. 3 for 2 somehow out of Smalley. Cambroni's return was written in the stones and the stars, apparently. So we go to Game 7. These next 60 seconds prior to this game, Bear, Moso has got to find a way to mentally prepare because they have been completely flipped upside down.
That's the thing, right? It's always the battle between the slow and steady versus the team that's just pure chaos. They even have a player named Cause Chaos, for Christ's sake. Like, what is like, this is crazy. And then Smalley is just all over the place, just causing everything, can do everything, including get 3 goals off of 2 shots. So what is there that Smalley can't do at this point in time? It's wild, man, seeing this series play out the way it has been. They've been able to kind of even the grounds here and then take it 1 step further and dominate in game number 6. Asheville's got all the momentum. It is basically over. If Moso gets the first goal or the first couple of goals, for sure it's over at that point in time. Just call it at that point in time. You have to have something quick for Moso here.
Mac Monster came out from underneath the bed and started scaring some Lions. They got a thorn in their paw, and apparently it's Bulldog shaped. Asheville, they've done all the work to get here, but was it all just for content, and was it all just a farce? Moso still has had quadruple match point, and they've got a man in the name of Blockstain. He's going to challenge upfield first. Clued had really begun this series as being a dominant entrant for getting his team involved. That's going to be on target, but it goes straight into the hands of Smoley.
Mac Monster going to play it down the length of the pitch. A good time to do that, too. Although they give away possession, it was allowing the chance for Smoley to kind of rotate around. Cambruni back there as well. A pinch off the back wall will send it all the way to the midfield. That one bounces high, too. Forces block staying up. Had plenty of boost in the tank. No worries until now. It's in the middle. And AVL JV go up on top in Game 7.
Mac Monster turned himself into a hat, and he wore one of these MSSU players like a dress. And they were looking oh so fine. Party time in the back line. AVL will be first on the board in the first 58.
Got to settle it down. That emergency's growing louder and louder in the ears of MSSU, and so is the clock. AVL JV now up 2-0. Damage control is being lost by Moso, and they just don't have an answer for AVL.
Ground control to Major Tom, because ain't nobody leaving a launch pad from the Moso half of the pitch. Asheville, they have completely thrown every bit of fuel into the tank, and they are just riding hot. Smoley's gonna drop one over to Blockstein. That is a swing and a miss. Maybe it was a let go, as a light planes rather. Just said, hey, let that one rotate over. We're gonna send this one side to side. Play a little bit more West Coast style. Blockstein wants to get a connection. They do so. Not a lot of boost to maintain it. Clued. That's a jumper. Smoley, it feel like they just needed them to lock in. They had scored a little bit too much on the Bulldogs earlier this time, and a lot of the times through the last 3 games, it has been all upfield.
Finally, we've actually said the name of a Moso member there with Clued recently, because basically it had been Asheville completely from start to finish. Well, you see Blockstein here in a danger zone at the top of the box, but wasn't able to get a shot off at the end of the day. And that one, Halite Plains right behind them, makes a big save here for Moso. Gotta keep yourselves within an arm's reach. You know I'm not a believer after the 2-0 here, but you still have an opportunity. You still got to keep grinding here for MSSU Gold. Can't let it out of your sights now. You had the 3-0. You've seen it disappear. What do you got in the tank?
It's been a minimum of 7 straight minutes since the last time Moso players have seen their names up in lights and on the scoreboard. Asheville is playing shutdown defense. They're playing opportunistic offense, and they're playing fundamentally sound, and they continue to find chances to punish against the Lions. Another kick out, another punt, and another rotation away from what is where the Lions need to be, and that's on the orange half. Asheville gonna retreat for now. 2:18 left on the clock. A stellar takeaway by Smoley. They're gonna get right back to work, and they're gonna start being demons with demos. This rolls out.
A-Light with a great touch here. Missouri Southern State have watched their lead completely dissipate. Need one here. The shot, the pinch, goes off the back wall instead. Is popped high. Opportunity, right back to it. As Blockstein try to get right back to it, but you could have really used that third man. A-Light still there, not able to touch that one home either. Time continues to tick, but now the best opportunities of the game are developing right now for MSSU.
It's desperation. They stuck around for that play. I like that idea, but they didn't have any extra boost. It was not by design. It was by reaction. Trying to do it again. Blockstein hoping to drop a chance over to Clued. Clued is chasing. They're now the dog on the leash. Well, it looks a little weird on the Lion, but it's going to be looking even worse as this comes off the bar. That one, 80 seconds left. The clock is louder for MSSU. Moso try and make the best one of this. They have a lead blocker. That plan doesn't work. What page is left in the playbook here, Bear?
You got to be able to move forward. There is no more time to try to inch it by. You have to just do or die here. I like the approach that they've had this far, at least in the last minute or so. Got to keep it up, though. Backflip from Mac Monster. What great support on the back line there from Smoley to shut it down. Blockstein will go high, looking for a teammate, but again, where is that support? It's right back into the hands of Asheville, who try to clear. At least more time off the clock for AVL.
Smoley looking for the kill shot. Still, they have some insurance. It's nearly been 9.5 minutes of Rocket League time with no score. A setup. Is anyone there to dive? No. Alive Plains with a set. He sticks around. They cut the lead in half. There's 30 seconds to go. MSSU is not dead yet.
Realizing there was no momentum there from All Right Plains, it's the pull shot that we were referring to in the last series coming through and showcasing its head in this one. MSSU Gold finally break the streak, but can they get another goal here in the last 30 seconds?
Can't just be a mistake. It's got to be one you go and get. 20 seconds left. This one's dropping! Block stain. They had it dead to rights. They had to chase off defenders. They got to body their way through. They can't do so. Host up a defense. A brick wall. The Bulldogs had to fight their way out of the cage. They took down the king of the jungle. The Lions in front of them, but a reverse sweep in 5. They've got just seconds remaining. MSSU with one last gasp of life. This one to the backboard.
There it is.
And the second is glued with time going to OT.
And they've got the momentum of the last couple of goals. Blockstein keeps it alive off the back wall, and Quib there beats 2 members just through that little gap that existed in order to bring us into this overtime here in game number 7.
You got to compose yourself. It may be coming right down to this. Mac Monster!
Wow! What a storybook ending. All the fighting from MSSU, they might have had the momentum, but AVLJV have the ball luck yet again and close out this series with the overtime winner for AVLJV. Wow, what a series.
Goodness gracious. Asheville has got themselves some party time tonight, and my throat ruined. Fantastic work. We didn't get to see 2 of those games, but all 4 of them came in a reverse sweep to take down Moso. Got to give some love over to Missouri Southern State. What a fight to be able to even push it back. But composure works both ways. For those that get scored on and for those that did the scoring. We've all seen it before, and sometimes it happens just from kickoff. Bear, what a crazy night that we got for our second week of NECC.
That last series alone was enough to make me want to jump through a window in all the right ways. But the entirety of the night was incredible there. Shout out both teams. Moso didn't give up either. That attitude to truly force that overtime in the first place was incredible. And then they just caught some bad luck, dude. Terrible way to go down 0-2 in the season, because you feel like they're a really put together, consistent team. They were just facing a monster of a chaotic team across the pitch there with the Bulldogs of UNCA, man.
Someone go look at Smoley. The dude's just probably gonna score on anything. He may hit a friend, a foe. He may slap his mom. He might just I don't know what's gonna go on. But go give him a high five. Everyone on that team did crazy things to be able to survive through this series. Moso, you guys, all of you out there, for both Moso as well as for Asheville, thank you so much for sticking with us for the elongated break and through everything that happened both on and off camera. And we got to see a heck of a series ender. And of course, the entire night, we got to see some great things from Division 6, 2, and 7 all in a row. Shout out over to our producer and Chippy, trying to manage literally all of it through all of the lobbies as well as our producer setups. And again, for what comes next, because tomorrow we've got League of Legends, as well as on Friday we've got Overwatch. It's going to be Yanni and Shibby as your Thursday casters for League of Legends, so make sure not to miss out on it. Bear, so great to be back in the booth with you, man. This has been a wonderful night.
It has been, man, and likewise, because it's been way too long, and to come back to something like this and still, number 1, not miss a beat, number 2, have the most barrel light in Monkey Man situations develop is the most incredible thing. And a big thank you to everybody here in chat as well for hanging out here, and I appreciate everybody. And man, let's do it again all of next week for the Rocket League side as well, man.
Yeah, if you guys want to see more Rocket League, we'll be doing it on Wednesday, but make sure NECC is happening all week long. You can find it here. You can find it on YouTube, all the VODs and all the recordings that are happening from this and more. You want to relive the action? Do it there, do it here, do all the time. For right now, though, and for tonight, I'm Hail Monkey Man. That's Barrel Light. You guys have been fantastic, and we'll see you next time.